Hello, everybody, and welcome to the incredibly professional stream. If you've been here for the last 5 minutes, you'll see me faffing around. But in order, welcome to Connor, who's that way.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
He's up there somewhere.
Howdy.
we got a Chris.
Howdy.
Yes, we got a Liam. He's not
Sure about.
he's not lagging this time. This is good. And we got Nobby.
G'day, g'day.
He's only 12,000 miles away, and yet he got his intro right.
Yeah, I deserve all I get. Like, let's be honest. This was, there was about 20 minutes of faffing followed by a complete car crash of an intro. It's like, to be fair, we're on brand. Welcome to the Spicy Roundup. If you expected professionalism, you're not going to get it here. What you are going to get is hopefully some good views about X-Wing. So yeah, let's do that. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a certain tournament. Nobby, do you want to talk about your own tournament?
I think I can rant on for a bit about. So, Trilogy tournament was a little thing that we devised in, I think it was 2019, as a testing grounds for our local OTC team, which was basically the Oceanic Team Tournament. You guys have them over there, back before XTC was what it is. And we had some people that were new to a team event, and so I thought, hey, look, because when I first did my own OTC, I had no like testing. I just went in there and I'm like, oh, okay. And you actually have to like think a little bit differently about your list building and about how the pairing process goes. So we came up with this event, and since then it's normally been like an Australian event. But thanks to the powers of the internet and TTS, we opened it up this year to the world, and we have lots of teams coming in for it. So it's a team event, 3-man teams. You're meant to have a person represent each of the eras in Star Wars. So we have the prequels, which is the Separatist and the Republic. We have the OT, the original trilogy, Empire, Scum, and Rebels. And then you have the sequels, which is the Resistance and the FO. And so each of the people have to pick one of those factions, and then you do your pair off, much similar to the XTC, which was actually quite similar to our OTC. And there's also the same restrictions that we actually have for the OTC, which is the list diversity and the no repeats from the unique upgrade. So those two actually are like from the original event. So we've kept those in as our little trademark kind of thing for the event. But otherwise, it's a whole bunch of fun. So
Yeah, and for what it's worth, as a competitor, it's really weird having the list archetypes. But the further we got into it, I think I found that really cool, because a lot of the time you get certain meta games where like Beef is really strong, or Swarm is really strong, or Aces is really strong. Having to take three they don't have to be massively different, but relatively different archetypes is kind of cool.
the reason for that is we wanted, because you've only got like a single step in pairing. When I say single step, you both put out one, and then the second one and the third one gets automatically picked. Is that if you have all the same archetypes, then the pairing process doesn't matter, which is kind of counterproductive for what this event is all about. So that is why it's in there. And the original, I think the original OTC, or early on when they introduced it, was back where you could have like Y wings and Rebels, Y wings in Scum, and Y wings in Rebels Scum, and something else. But you can have basically TLT Y wings. You can do 2 or 3 lists of the same in different factions. And I was like, no, we don't want that. And so I just tried to basically extend that and make it, as I said, make it that pairing really, really is important for this event, especially when there's only 3 people. So yeah, it makes you think a bit, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I've been having a look at the pairings for us for the last basically today. And it's just like, okay, no, there is actually decisions that need to be made. So yeah, let's get into to this. The reason that we have Nobby and Chris here, and it's awesome to see you guys, and thanks for coming on, is that we are trying to be as unbiased. Shockingly, I know that this is not normally the content that you expect from this show, but we are trying to be as unbiased as possible. I know.
Are
Right?
you possibly insinuating, Mr. Pucknell,
That I'm massively biased.
Well, you did take a whole load of hot sauce for the last time you did that.
I did. I'm trying to avoid making bets for this one because that didn't go so well for me last time.
I mean, Dom will 100% put you under the bus for that. So yeah.
We'll see how much people are fishing. But yeah, in terms of this, it means that we get sort of an Australian view on things and get to know some of the players down there. We get an American view of things, and Chris can hopefully let us know some of the guys across the pond that we're not quite sure on. And obviously for us, you get our massively biased view of Europe. So hopefully we should end up with a decent idea of which teams are good, which teams maybe not so good / bad, and throw us under the bus as normal. So we can make some predictions and be wrong. Should be good. So shall we get on with it?
Let's.
So what I've done,
Let's go.
I've turned this into a sheet with all of the teams in team order. So I think we just go through the pods bit by bit, and then we can work out. So like, how many pods of death have we got? Like, is it relatively balanced? Like, what's going on? So let's start off with Tnx, and these guys. I think
Freeze for a second, just to clarify. These pods are now set in stone, Nobby. We have our own viewpoint on some of these, but are we all accepting it's too late for you to start messing about with them now?
pairings have been
I
done.
mean,
like,
you know, you can always bribe the TO to make a mistake and have to fix pods later on. I mean,
You've been saying things like that, but actually you're one of the most professional operations I've come across. But just before me and Ollie start telling you the things you might have missed, are we all locked in the fact that these pods are locked?
they are locked in. They are locked in.
Then
No,
let's
there's not
point
going
out
to be
all the mistakes he made.
as Chris sitting over there, just like, oh, please let's change it.
If you have any way to change them, specifically this pod, I will happily take you up on that offer.
P.S. Chris Patrick, for anybody who doesn't know, who's the nice, young-looking, fit American guy, is so fucking good at this game that listen to nothing he says. Literally nothing.
He keeps on beating me on a regular basis. It's very annoying.
Me.
And Nobby, we've had a request. If you can say "Ipa Colombia" on stream.
Ipa Colombia!
There we go. There we go. And thank you to Average
Boys in
Joe
Colombia.
for continuing to hold my restraining order. I don't know. Just keep away from him. Okay. All right. Shall we get on?
Please.
Let's get on. So I believe TNX is the guys from Bromley for Tuesday Night X-Wing. So these guys are... Yeah, they are. So what we've got is two lovely Greek people that live in the... well, one of them lives in the UK, Demetrius, I believe, lives in the UK, Old Jester. And they've got Leonidas, who is the Greek captain, as well as Kevin. So we got some fun little lists here. Liam, this seems right up your street. Do you want to break down our lovely list at the top here?
Ooh.
Right?
Everyone loves a Nantex. It's the most fair and balanced ship in the game. It is criminal how little ensnare he has in that list, though. But it is indeed. It's 4 Petronarchy Arena Aces, all with crack shot, Chertek with crack shot and marksmanship. So it's a whole lot of I get action. I get to reposition even after I bump, which is always nice.
Yeah, and these are the I4 ones, aren't they?
Yeah, it's the Stalisgan Guard, which is the I3.
Yeah. So crack shots are mean. There's 5 Nantex with crack shot. I mean, you can't really argue with that one. Now, I mean, so we'll get onto that later, but this event is using some of the new asteroid rules. And I've been annoying Nobby with questions for, well, most of the week on like how interactions work with those. But what do you think about the changes to tractor beams and the new asteroids? Because with the new rules, we're not allowed to tractor ships onto asteroids. So would you still take ensnare with that as a change, as he puts a hoodie on? Wait for it.
Hang on.
Wait for it. There
Hang
he is.
on.
He got it.
I've appeared. I've been rebirthed. So, me being me, paid literally no attention to the rules. I think with the iteration of X-Wing we're moving into, I think ensnare still has a place, because instead of putting people on rocks, you move people off objectives. Which is, when it comes to scoring objectives, is amazing with the amount of control you can still have. I don't like the changes to rocks because I like using ensnare.
Hmm.
But it's a completely fair change if you do go ahead with these changes to rocks. So I don't mind. It's one of those.
Yeah, seems fair. Okay, so Petronaki's quite annoying. Next one, Rebel List. I kind of want to take this one because it's got both Jake and Wedge in it. This seems scary to me. You've got finally someone is taking expert handling on Dash. I prefer it over Trick Shot because it turns Dash into an ace. Perceptive Copilot and Jake really well together. Outrider, massive pain. Also can remove stress tokens. Wedge with proton torpedoes is never a bad thing, but Leonidas does lose points for having vector cannons on Jake. Don't know why you do that. Means that you can't really easily drop off 2 focus tokens a turn, but that's my opinion. And he's taking debris clouds. That seems good. I believe, how many did you count the amount of dashes, Nobby, that we had in this?
10.
Still got 10 out of.
Oh, there's a DQ right there.
It's a lot of dash.
Because remember, we've got the deadly obstacles, so they have to not stay on the obstacles. They have to get off them, which is probably why we got the expert handling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was expecting less.
Even if you are sitting on a gas cloud or a debris, you cannot shoot now if you're dash. But yeah, expert handling,
Correct.
You can barrel roll off that. Honestly, this list seems pretty scary. This is one of the best dash lists I've seen. I don't rate the one with 2 A-wings. I don't think it's that good. I think you need something scary, and that is a scary thing that you can put with stuff.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, Chris or Connor, do you want to fight over this one? Who'd prefer to do that one?
Oh, go ahead, Chris.
Alright, so we have Kylo and the Whisper with Malice, Predator, Sons of Scramblers, and Jamming Suite. I love Malice. I think it's one of the best Force cards in the game. Really love seeing it on Kylo here. Normally, I like to see Malice on the Silencer because, he can actually use his ability then. But it's still good here because now instead of using your Force to flip damage cards face up in your bullseye, you can just turn them into crits when you're shooting anywhere. So that's pretty good. You got Blackout with Trick Shot and Sensor Scramblers as well. And Quick Draw with Proud, Pattern, the Gunner, and Fire Control. So pretty solid. First Order Aces, pretty fast. You got the 2 kind of like harder to hit pieces with Kylo and Blackout. And then you just got Quick Draw to punch off the middle.
Yeah.
So pretty solid.
And with because we're playing new rules and everything else, 6s have just gone up in money. So I think Quick Draw is a really, really good addition to any of the First Order chances here. Cool. So there we go. We've got TNX. I think this is a fairly good team. I think they've got a good mix of lists. Let's see what else we got on the pod. We have Colombia. So Colombians are always good fun. Connor, pick a list. Which one do you want to do?
Ooh, no, that's exciting. Well, I guess we go. Well, I'm not going to leave that one for Liam. So we've got Kylo Ren, 2 Forced Error Cadets, and Grudge. Yeah, I like that one. This is one I'm currently looking at myself. Well, I say I'm looking at. I'm kind of stealing off other people, but this one's trying to run a little bit of everything. Both the cadet bombers running feedback ping, ATP, cluster missiles, bomblet generators, delayed fuses. It's expensive for not running proximity mines. 41 points apiece, and they have nothing to hit the feedback ping except the bomblet generators, I believe. Oh no, there's Hans Jamming Suite on Kylo. No,
Yep.
no, they haven't. There's nothing else. Sorry. So they've got Grudge, ATP, bomblet generator, and shield upgrade. So that's a lot of bomblet generators.
Yeah,
And upgraded Grudge, and then Wilo, in fact, with Brilliant Evasion, Elusive, Pattern Analyzer, and the Enhanced Jamming Suite. So we're gonna see this list. I think we're gonna see this list everywhere in one format or another. I literally was typing out the variations of it 5 minutes ago. This one's a little odd. So they have no big hits either at the front or the back. Cluster missiles at the front for a little bit of long range play with the pings. Bomblet generator at the back with Grudge, but
I feel like
Connor net, no Prox mines, no.
I think what we're going to see with these guys is they're going to try and come in, block you, drop bomb, and sloop over the top for the clusters.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. But it's trying to be a little bit of everything that the list currently can do. So we've seen them either being front heavy or we've seen them being back heavy. This one's kind of doing a bit of both.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I know Purple Dragon Knight, Juan Kinch, and I'm quite fond of him as a player and a person. I, yeah, I'd say it's one to watch.
Yeah. Well, this is a lot of these guys are some of the ones that we played in
The
in
XTC.
the XTC. So
Yeah.
and then Liam, do you wanna take the thing that is basically yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, can't go wrong with a Zam Wessel with Dooku, thermal detonators and a hull upgrade, which changes that half points value. General Grievous with treacherous, impervious plating, and soulless one. So that's a small variation. A lot of people go without maneuver instead of treacherous. And then we've got DBS 404 with advanced proton torps because he punches really hard with that.
Yeah.
Independent calculations, so he gets that second calculate if he needs it, and then landing struts, so he can sit on rocks. I like it, but I will always go towards Chertek over DBS 404.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
Chertek does a lot. I mean, DBS punches you in the face, but it feels like a second Grievous, whereas Chertek fills a different role.
Yeah, but he has got Zam in this, who naturally does put out a lot of consistent damage because of the ability.
Yeah.
Whereas I've had to gravitate towards Kylo to keep Chertek. Not Kylo, sorry, Django, so I can keep Chertek in the list. So where I fall short, he's able to climb over the top of me there. So there's clear targets in this one, whereas my variation, it seems a little bit cloudier.
Yeah.
You don't know who to go for because I kind of use it as one of them as bait, and whatever you choose, there seems to be a wrong decision, but you can systematically work through that.
Yeah. I mean, this
I
is kind
think.
of dialed up to 11, right? You've got just everything is face punchy as opposed to the control that your one gives out.
Yeah. But I think the control adds so much more to your list because it's -1 edge as well. Everything hits harder by proxy.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Nobby, how many triple aces listed do you expect to see in this tournament?
I expected there to be at least one ace list in each team. Surprisingly, there's not.
Wow.
But yeah,
Really?
I was. Yeah, no, because we do have actually multiple archetypes, and I also made a clause that salad type lists will get a little bit more leeway, and so sometimes that's what we've got. We've got more towards a beef than anything, I think, than we got aces. And I thought there'd be like at least one ace list in each list, but there wasn't. So
They're dangerous. They're too dangerous in team events, though. That's the problem. They're dangerous in seven player teams as opposed to even 3 player.
yeah.
I'm
But also
curious.
keep in
Sorry.
mind, here's the thing: don't forget, because you are forced to take diverse archetypes, then you're likely to have a favorable pairing in at least one of them. So, as long as you can control the pairings, then an ace list is not as deadly. If that makes sense.
Yeah, for
Still
sure.
early in the morning for me.
There's an argument that if you're getting it right, sorry, just moving the chat over so that these guys can see the chat. There we go. Let's put that over there. I feel like there's an argument that ace list could be dangerous though if you get the pairings right. I mean, it's a difficult one to say. Anyway, so we've had a couple. I think that Tnx is stronger than Colombia here. I don't know about like list to list, but I feel like players wise they're probably stronger. They play in a tougher area. Let's see the last couple. Oh, hello Netherlands. So I've got like an internal. I'm scared of the Dutch, but that's just because I keep on getting beaten up by Farn. So we've got some fun ones here. I'm very conscious of the fact that we do have like 40 something teams, so I don't want to break down every single list. And we're gonna see some similar lists, but this one is really interesting in terms of formats. I mean we've got some tri-fighters. Chris, this is your neck of the woods.
Absolutely. So this is Grievous and 4 Tri-Fighters. So the Tri-Fighters aren't the Colloquoid Interceptors, which are the ones that I usually fly. You've got 3 Fearsome Predators and DIS 347. So the Predators give out strain tokens to one target that they assign at the start of the game. and if they did not spend a green token on the defense, I believe then that target gets a strain token. So basically, if you have 3 of them shooting at the same target, they eventually run out of green tokens, and then all of your ships are shooting a ship that is strained. And then you've got 347 who can, at the start of engagement phase, acquire a lock onto a ship that another friendly ship has locked. So you've got Kalani there as well on Grievous. So they just all kind of dive in on one target, and it's a lot of red dice. Like there's 15 red dice in that list. It's a hell of a jouster. The only problem with them is that they kind of fall quickly. So like as soon as 1 or 2 go down, the rest of the list falls because you really need those network calculations to stay alive.
Yeah, and these guys are working together. So I'm curious to see just single HMP with running nothing in the background. That's going to be curious. Then this...
That's not an HMP. That is a Tri-Fighter.
Oh, sorry, that is the Tri-Fighter.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm more scared of that now. I thought that was an HMP running around. So having 4 Tri-Fighters and Grievous, that seems like a nasty 5-ship list. That's whew. Yeah, that's...
Ollie, there's a little trick you can use when it comes to identifying which D ship it is. So DFS is a fighter, which is the Vulture. DBS is a bomber, which is the Hyena.
And I is Interceptor.
DIS is Interceptor. I forgot what it is for the DGS gunship.
I see. I thought you were going to throw shade at me there, but that's really, really useful.
Yeah, Liam.
Yeah,
What the hell are you
good.
doing? Giving
Okay.
actual information out.
So I'm glad that
I'm
someone
a
else
wholesome member
noticed
of the
that.
community now.
Yeah. Liam is turning over a new leaf in the new year and being wholesome and a good human.
I'm not sure I approve.
Ah, it's
Oh, it's
I think that's a penalty
only-
point right there.
Yeah, let's get to an American
Right.
team so we can get Liam on leave.
Okay, fair enough. Come on, bring out the Yanks.
um,
Sorry, North Mexicans.
So just to finish off here, this is a generic spam
Yeah,
From-
Nobby.
from the
This is
chat.
a big generic spam.
from the Dutch. They're all kind of different though, because we've got that isn't really a swarm list. It's yeah, you could argue it's like Ace mini swarm with Grievous in there. This
It's
one
an
is
excellent list.
I'm actually scared of this.
Yeah.
I had a look at this and it terrifies me. So
That
I
has
just wanna
this one has
say-
7 ships in it.
Yep. So I just want to say, like, you're talking about list archetypes. I didn't solely decide on if things were too sameys or different. I actually consulted a group of people and put it up to a vote. If anything I thought was close, I was like, okay, what do you think? Is this different enough? So, don't just blame me. You can blame the council as well.
yeah, to be fair, we're probably
Yeah.
running a bit close to the line with 2 of ours. So,
Yeah.
but with
Next day.
yeah, with this, this is really interesting, and I'm hoping to see this work effectively because yeah, I haven't seen Hopeful used well, and this seems like a really good place for Hopeful. They all run in, they take focus tokens, and then they get the locks from the tracers, and because they're so low initiative, you can then, as soon as you inevitably lose one when you get initiative killed, they all boost, so you can get off some of those cluster missiles.
Oh, that's what it was for.
Yeah,
I was thinking
yeah.
target locks. Take target locks.
You can
But
take the
also
target
when they
locks and
die,
then get the focus tokens.
to get the
from Hopeful.
focus.
Yep.
But you can
This is
also
the
boost.
next discipline storm. Well done, Holland.
Yeah, this is really interesting, and because normally you can range control and you can go, okay, I'm going to engage to avoid the cluster missiles, or I'm going to engage to avoid the homing missiles. But with Hopeful and the ability to boost, I think they can really manage their ranges quite well. So I'm curious to see how this thing goes.
What are my Z95s I own?
Connor's just like, ooh,
Everyone should roughly have 8, and if you're not running 8 Z95s with Deadman Switch, you're doing it wrong.
also fair.
That is wholesome.
Also fair. And then Kimji's with engine for the boost. These are because they haven't got the wartime loadout, they can boost into calculate, can't they?
Yep, that's right.
So yeah, so we've got 2 Y-wings that can.
It's Kajimi.
It is.
It's Kajimi.
I've been saying
You say
Kimji
Kimji?
for the last 3 months. It's even in the film. It's even in the film. Anyway,
Nobody remembers that film. It's trash.
is this?
If you enjoyed it, you're a horrible person.
There he
Anyway,
goes.
this is a nice straightforward resistance beef list.
He's fishing.
This is running 2 X-Wings, 2 Y-Wings. It's quite straightforward. Does what it says in the tin. This is
Yeah.
a fighter.
Yeah. This is not Commander Poe. This is proper Poe. So he can actually do something in the end game as well.
This is expensive Poe.
It is expensive Poe. The better Poe. So yeah, I'm worried about this team. This seems like a good team with
Yeah, this is a good team.
some weird lists, but effective lists. I think these guys could go quite far. And last one, Team Canada. Hello, Canada. So Brendan, otherwise known as DeGreen Online, or the man that loves Gonk, really loves Gonk. He's got Doofus, he's got Tub, he's got 3 drones and 3 drones. I don't know. What do we think of this?
I think it's the new meta, annoyingly. It's an old meta.
Yeah.
But it's back to being the new meta.
Lots of droids.
We're back to being all over the beef. 8 ships. Well, that seems like it'll work.
These do pop though.
Yeah, they do, but they get to fire shitloads of stuff first.
Yeah, and they're all independent calculations as well, instead of relying in the swarm. Because, I mean, normally you want independent calculations on 311, but then also bringing other vultures kind of ties them down to the independent calcs as well. So that's definitely an interesting take.
Yeah. And then we got second Dash.
I actually can't get over this. I literally talked these guys into playing, and look what they do to me. I mean, my reward is this shit. Dash Luke AP5.
Oh,
Seriously, Cam.
that's the wholesome Dash.
That
That's
is not a wholesome Dash.
why not? What? It's
It might
got
not be
I
the
hate that
normal
Dash.
boring Dash, but it's not a wholesome Dash.
I mean, so like if we're comparing Dash lists, this one does not scare me at all. The Wedge one terrifies me.
Then you can play against it.
Yeah, it's fine. Like
You can play all the Dash lists. How about that?
I've got a lot of I6 jousting. I would very much like to play against this. Please give it to me. Anyway, that got a bit forwards. But yeah, it's a Dash list. It's going to do very bad things to people if they're not prepared for it. And this one is very hard to kill.
And then Andrew Oler, who's thankfully stepping outside of his comfort zone of playing nothing but 4-ship Rebel lists, and is playing 4-ship Resistance list.
I mean,
I'm proud of him.
It's good. It is good. And
It's exactly the same shit he won GSP with, but it's just got a different color on the symbol.
well, do you reckon Cam and Andrew had a fight over who was going to take Rebel?
Yeah. Which one of us wants to move one forward?
Yes. Well, to be fair, he's got Commander Poe, so every other turn he can do lots of things.
Now, I had a lot of respect for Andy Oler until he threw against some complete scrubs in the last event. Nobby, any idea who that was? I can't remember.
Jesus.
Oh,
Dear.
Nobby beat Andrew Oler to win the Crit Team Championship.
I mean, that was a game.
It was a game I
That
thoroughly
was
enjoyed
fun. That was fun.
DMing both of you, actually.
Oh dear. So I mean,
Wasn't a major tournament though. It's only the crates. They haven't done anything relevant in years.
Ouch.
I'm actually bored of it, so I'm not even going to bother.
This is a genuinely scary group, though. I'm just going to go back to the.
It's Canada. Canada are always a scary group.
Well, yeah, but so you've
I
got
like Canada.
you've got Colombia XTC. Like you can never count out the Dutch. You've got Canada and like Demetrius and Leonidas. I mean, I think
It's a pretty quiet pot of death. It's a pretty quiet pot of death.
it is. I think we've started off with a really scary pod there.
It depends which version of the Netherlands turn up. Is it standard Netherlands, where we have Van doing everything he can to win everything available? Or is it XTC Netherlands?
Yeah, that's fair.
Which hang out with Australia at the bar where everybody else plays.
To be fair, Nobby, it took us about 20 minutes to get into it.
Nobby's not listening anymore. He's just checked out. Screw you
oh
guys.
no, I'm here. I'm just thinking, and keep in mind, I've just had my coffee. It takes time for it to, caffeine
No,
to
we're all
kick
good.
in.
I think if we were to go back to because I said I was going to do this, if we were to go back to Nobby's predictions, then I bet you were the jam tokens, weren't you, Nobby? Or were you the focus
I
tokens?
was the jam tokens, yeah.
Yeah, so Nobby
No, I
went,
was the jam tokens. Aaron was the focus tokens.
Nobby went for Colombia, Aaron went for Canada. I'm going to throw a vote the Dutch's way. I think those lists scare me. I think Canada might be the better players, but
Canada on the comfort zone, Ollie, which is my mentality.
yeah, that's a good
I'm going to
point.
give Canada their comfort zone to take this one.
Yeah, I mean Canada have friendly lists.
Yeah.
I
I'm
feel
going
bad.
with Canada as well.
I feel bad for Colombia here because they
Yeah, I love that vote.
like starting off in there is mean, is very mean. But good practice for everybody. I think for XDC next year, you're not going to get better practice than that. All right, going down. Let's start off with
We did,
Australia.
like, a quick count, by the way, of how many XCC players we actually had in there, because it's some ridiculous number, like 9 or 10.
Right, what we got? So from TNX you had 2.
Yeah.
From Colombia, I think all 3 of them from Colombia.
Yeah.
2 from the Dutch, I think, maybe 3.
And
then
3 from Canada.
2 from Canada. I don't think Brendan was.
Oh, is it just
was Brendan
okay, Andy and
like?
Andy and Cam?
Yeah, I don't
I'll
know
have to look it up.
Brendan with XCC, but there's a lot.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's somewhere like,
that's 9 or 10.
8 to 10 XTC players in Pod A.
It's always fun. All right, so starting off from Pod B.
Not in the finals though. Just point that out.
Who wants to take Singapore? Is it Singapore? Raymond? No, sorry. Raymond is
Philippines, I believe.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a fun one. Warthog Swarm is Warthog shaped, and yeah, like so XDC Tigris, standard Warthog Swarm. Fen, Palob, Seavor, Black Sun. I'm not sure I like Seavor there.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of firepower in there. Because you're relying on Palob to punch about as hard as the Black Sun Ace, which is not going to work.
I feel like if
Fenn's got to do a lot of heavy lifting in that list.
Yeah, you're spending a lot of points on Fen, and if you're taking Seavor, you want most things to be shooting after him. I don't know. I think that lacks synergy. This one, I mean, Nobby.
Pine 3As. A couple of tweaks I'd like to do, but Pine 3As is normally good. It does sometimes lack damage, but you got pockets there. So I think it could do well. It's not going to be important about the pairing process for that list.
Yarp.
No bid, so yeah.
They're missing Zara.
That's all right. I like my Iron Torps.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really like Iron Torps and Poe.
Yeah, I'd ditch a couple of things out of that. I'd probably like the 2 heroics on ZZ and Tally for Iron Torps. Or take out Starboard Slash as well, and no, the heroic and Poe. You fly Poe right, you don't need heroic. You just don't get hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely with him on this one. I think for 8 points you could fit a lot more danger on that list for the heroics. And
Yeah.
I know it sucks not having heroic in a faction that is amazing, but I think you're not going to use heroic enough on the A-wings to merit spending at least 6 points on it.
There's a lot to be said for consistency of approach, though.
Yeah, true. I don't know. I could be more impressed by these lists. I mean, Warthog's good.
Well, I think
but
All 3 lists,
This-
all 3 lists, I think all of us would change.
Yeah.
Within the concepts that they have, like the Warthog list, we already have a perfect version of that floating about. It's not running it.
Yeah.
So we don't probably need to break down the fact that everything there would get changed a bit.
All right. Are we going to be mean to Australia now then?
Well, why not?
Why
yeah,
not?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I guess there has been, so
Well, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, if I used to be good, then Ben Doyle also used to be good. So I kind of like this though. I kind of like that. I don't know. Like, is a 50-point Y-wing a bad idea? Probably.
It is when it's initiative 1.
Oh God, it is, isn't it?
Okay. I think R2's 2, but here's the thing. You're mostly using Ayla for the coordinate, right? So why not just take another Jedi with BattleNet
Yeah, it's
for about the same price? And now you're coordinating 2 ships at a time.
You
Uh,
could
Like
fit,
that's my only problem with it. Is like there are ways for you to coordinate more,
you could
and
probably
R2 is not that.
fit Luminara with Battle.net
Control.
in there, right?
There's a team in our pod who's doing something similar where it's 3 7Bs, and then they have another Jedi Knight with Battle Med and Chopper, I think.
Why
Yeah,
would you
I
take
saw that
Ayla
one, yeah.
Secura when the most expensive Jedi, literally the most expensive Jedi in Republic?
It's because it gives the purple coordinate.
Yeah, but so does
Oh.
Yoda, and Yoda gives you 2 4s.
Yeah, but you also get a focus as well on R2D2.
Okay.
So when you coordinate, I think when you coordinate, you get a focus as well.
Oh, you're
You
right.
spend a
It's
force, you
focusing
get a
the
coordinate,
coordinate, isn't
and you get
it?
a focus as well.
There,
So you also got, and then you got the eye cannon for a little bit of control, and you're loosed. And your heavy hitters are the 3 Jedi Knights.
there is an argument that what that Jedi list needs is a reason for people to not point at the Jedi, and maybe putting
Yep.
a big juicy 50-point wiring in your opponent's face and going, please shoot this, maybe gives the Jedi time to kill things. I don't know. I'm not sold.
Also, ion control in a deadly obstacle environment.
Oh, it's going to
is
be
better.
big. Yeah.
Yep.
I think the Republic's going to see
Yeah.
the return of matchstick and broadside, and the fourth ship's going to come back to being in Y-wing quite a lot. The question I think we're back is, this is a damn expensive I2.
Yeah, it is. On the flip side of this, call me Paul Heaver. Sam Blight is, but yeah, this did well recently, and we are going to see it in the hands of Paul Heaver at this very event. So,
Yay.
Guys, we've been raided.
hey, have we?
I saw it in the hands of Matt Button yesterday.
Hey, we got a fun walk. Yay, we got a fun walk. But yeah, I think this is scary. This list has the ability to put 4 evade tokens on Dash.
Oh.
4. I think this is another example of very good list building potential, and certain lists can kill this, but there are certain lists in the game that this will point at and go, you do not have the ability to kill Dash. They just don't, and by the time stuff is done, then Dash kills everything else. So I think you're going to have to pair into this very, very carefully, and this could be a problem.
Scott reads Ollie, hello, fun walk. Hi, Scott, how are you?
I like it. What? Funwalk said hi. I'm saying hi, Funwalk. Thank you, Scott. We appreciate it. Jesus. Oh dear.
Oh yeah, when it comes to breaking down my group, we need to completely gloss over my team because Toby's looking for information.
This is also true. So I should tell him all the
Oh,
wrong
and as a
things.
goal,
Yeah.
we started like 3 hours ago.
Yeah, but we only started the stream a little while ago because I'm slow.
Yeah.
Right. Chris, what do you think of this? FO 3-ship ace?
I've tried something really similar to that before, and I didn't really like it. Hollow is like a decent piece, but you are lacking health, and if you get caught once, it's not great. I normally go for Rush instead of Hollow to kind of round that out, because Hollow can be kind of like a support piece if you just sit her in the back, and she like passes an evade token out to Kylo at range 2. Like that's nice. But if you're doing that, then that means that you've got one less gun pointed in the right direction.
This is my list. This is my list from ages ago. I ran this for fucking ages. And the bottom line is you can't have Von Reg and Hollow unless you've got a fourth ship. They just don't have enough hull.
Yeah.
It's
So
going
you need to run
I
this
just
without
wanna say-
Kylo, or you need to run this without Hollow.
Well, just so you know, Quinton is an ace player. This is his kind of list. He has played these kind of lists quite extensively. We haven't seen much of him, in the last, lockdown and such, because he's a local. But generally, when we do events, it's like you have a couple of players, yes, they're going to play an ace list with a bit, and it's going to be these kind of people, and so he will be able to maximise the squishiness of them. He'll dodge arcs and everything like that. So
With Road, I wish you the very best of luck,
even
Quentin.
with Road.
Very best of luck.
Yeah, with Road, that's the thing, isn't it? There's no bid in this, so how it's going to adapt for Road, I don't know, but don't rule it out. I think
You
that's
are. Hang on a
actually.
second. How many points has he spent? He's got a 6-point bid.
No, it doesn't.
Am I counting up wrong?
I don't know. I'm just a physics teacher. I use a
Or a
calculator.
16-point bid?
No, Connor, the
Oh,
points
yeah,
next
yeah,
to the
yeah.
prize
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I just realised that, yeah.
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 We got it.
The upgrades
It's
haven't
fine.
been attached to it, so he's a 0-point bid, fair enough.
So
yeah.
I'm curious. I'm curious because I feel like if this team gets their pairings right, this is terrifying. But they very much have the ability to just get wiped if they get their pairings wrong. So, like there are certain lists that kill each of these. If you get them into the right lists, then they're just going to walk over everything. If you get them into the wrong lists, like putting the triple ace into something that will naturally prey on it. Obviously, if you can avoid those things, then you're okay. So I'm curious to see what happens. I like if, as Nobby's saying, this is the reason that we got people from all over the world. If Quentin is a good ace player, then he can absolutely get the most out of this, and this is scary in the hands of a good ace player. Okay, it doesn't go with the meta, but if team tournaments, I'm curious.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm curious. All right, 2 lions and an ovenbird. I do not recognize any of those names. Do you guys recognize any of those names?
Okay.
No, they were actually a relatively
No.
late addition too.
Okay. Well, I don't know who you are. List-wise, we've got Eater, a couple of shadows with proton torpedoes and Jag. That not battle meditation. Okay. So we got I5 coordinates going on. 10 Nym, Braylon, Dutch, Garvin, standard 4-ship rebels, Kylo Blackout, first order. In the nicest possible way, I think these lists are not optimized.
I just want to add too that last list was a late addition because they were one of the teams that actually had another beef list, and because the first one and the second one was too much beef already, I actually had to ask him to change it.
Yeah.
And he had it was because of the late submission in the list, and suddenly going, no, this is not diverse enough. You have to change it. Claudio took I gave every player in that team option to change the list, and he took it. So the Kylo Blackout first order courier was his pick on a relatively short time frame. So
That's fair. Yep,
I'm
Toby.
sitting here trying to work out what the hell a first order courier is.
It's the
It's a Z
generic
class
G
build.
class. So I got really excited when
wow.
I saw. Yeah. So Kylo Blackout, and then you can fit a courier with Snoke, and if you give both of the silencers their sensitive controls, you can have Snoke reveal an opponent's dial at I2, and then at I5 you can reposition in the system phase for it. It's
Crispy,
actually a pretty cool
Your
concept.
head is so wrong. So wrong.
Yeah.
Because
bad man.
Snoke is, I believe, 13. So if you drop Pattern, Tack, and Pyre, or I mean, I'm assuming you want to drop the Scramblers, but like if you could, the Tactical Scrambler, if you take a couple of those upgrades off and you put Snoke on and you put the sensitive controls on instead, that's pretty nice because it's got a whole bunch of room to reposition after seeing your dial.
Yeah.
And then in the end game, it's 2 I5s.
I think at some point we're going to have to have a spicy roundup, which is called Crispy's Fucked Up Mind. I will just give him like an hour to go through all of his list concepts.
Listen. I'm toying around with Han Solo, Asajj Ventress, and Constable Zuvio. All right, it's working out really good so far.
I don't doubt you for a second, man.
To be fair, he did also beat me up with that.
Oh yeah, no, look again. His twisted mind works. Just if we let him off at the leash now, we might as well just stop here.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, I feel like these guys are just going to get beaten up.
Yeah, sorry, boys.
With the best will in the world, I think these guys are going to get beaten up, especially versus some pretty decent ace player.
Just you dive in and prove us all wrong, and we'll all be very happy
Yep.
about that. We're good. We're good at being wrong.
This one, we got, I know Ivor.
Experience.
I've played Ivor before. I think I've played Viking before as well. Can't remember exactly where in the world these guys are from, but they have Rick Ollie and Anakin Skywalker. So this is an XY special, isn't it? Looks like.
That is, yeah, very similar, yeah.
Well, we got the oddball in there, so
If they can fly
Yeah.
like him, rock and roll.
yeah, for sure. And we've got anything else that's interesting. It's fairly fun.
Wedge Luke Ahsoka. I love the all in on that. It's got almost no hull, and it's going to get shot a lot, but it's a lot of fun.
I mean, this is a
That's a
rebel.
50-point Ahsoka A-wing.
It's a
Come on,
rebel
son.
alpha.
Sorry, 57-point
I don't-
rock and roll.
Like,
I love the instinctive aim pockets, so
yeah, that's fun. And
I
then
will point out that David Sutcliffe ran something similar to this in the STO, and he made cut with it. It's
Yeah,
a
but so did
solid
me. So
archetype.
did I. Anyone may cut that term. Come on.
Yeah.
Don't take it away from me. I finished third.
Oh yeah. After knocking me out, yes, son of a.
yes, this is Croatia. Thank you, chat. See, this is really interesting because all of these lists, they're all interesting lists. They're all decent lists, but they feel like they're made in the wrong faction, if you like. Like at the moment, the 3-ship ace with Alpha probably isn't a rebel thing. At the moment, the general sort of like beefy swarm isn't exactly an FO list. It's interesting that they're taking these different style lists. I don't know if this is going to make people. I don't know. They might come across these and not know what to do with them. But
Yeah.
considering these squads, I feel like Group 2 is very much weaker than Group 1. Like
I don't think we really need to continue to discuss that. Really,
no.
we are going to have to. So we're going into Group 3 at an hour and 10 minutes, Ollie. You're gonna have, or 47 minutes. You're gonna have to structure this a little.
Yep. Well, what I might do is I might just skip over some things. Alrighty. AMG, another Aussie team. Nobby, what do we know about these guys?
So Scott is known for doing, I guess it's a little bit janky kind of lists, token sharing, things like that. So he actually has an interesting list. We've got a V-wing. What's that? Anakin Skywalker? Is that? I don't even actually know which Anakin Skywalker that is. Is that
That
Chopper?
is Chopper Anakin. So
Del 7B.
that's a
There we
C-
go. No,
that's
Del
a
7B.
Yep.
Oof. Ah, that's interesting. So very expensive Del 7B. So I don't know what to say because this is not a typical Scott list. So I don't know how he's going to fly that. I do know he uses Click. That'll be very interesting. I do know recently I played more because we haven't seen Scott for a while because he moved over to Toowoomba. So I haven't played him in person for probably a good year and a half. But Dan and Sarah are more locals. Sarah has done her typical 4 Jimmies. And then we have Dan with Fenrir, Bosk, and Lando. So both of those can hold their own. Scott it's a bit of a wild card, so it'll be interesting. Let's just say it'll be interesting to see them play.
Yeah.
So
We got some fun lists. I think like Aces, standard big ship, and 4 Jimmies.
Yeah.
The 4 Jimmies is always going to be fun to see. All right, what we're going to do, I think we're going to take a team per person instead of going through individual lists. If anyone really wants to talk about a list, then shout out about a list, because Connor's right, otherwise this will take forever. And don't want to stay up too late on a Sunday night. Right. I mean, this
Monday morning.
This looks fun. Yeah, Monday morning. See, nobody's here. He's got coffee.
Welcome from the world of tomorrow.
All right. This one. Who wants to take this one? Should we move on to?
Well, let's stick with the people who actually know what they're talking about. Who are these people?
I've played Eve before. I think this is France, or maybe
Oh, it
French,
is, isn't it?
French Canadian, but fairly sure this is France itself.
We only have one Canadian team, I think, because I bullied them into it.
Mm-hmm. So, well, I'll take this one then.
Swiss, apparently.
Sorry, I'm an idiot. Like, yeah, I've played Eve a few times, but this is fun. I'm here for this. I think that Captain Sear is ridiculously good still. People just stopped flying him because he got expensive. independent calculations with Seer are also great. So I'm curious to see how this works. It doesn't have
That's an
discords.
8-ship droid list.
Yeah, it's an 8-ship droid list. It doesn't have discords, but I think the crack shot is going to be super, super good. Followed by seeing a Mist Hunter, Angry Zuckus, L3, Nym as well, and Talonbane. I'm really here for this because the random scum jank that no one knows how to deal with, similar to the big ship one that we saw on the previous team. I think this could be super interesting. And then we get the nonsense harm thing that goes where it likes, because Cadel Conics is fun. I think it's going to struggle though because it doesn't have Corsella. Should have brought Corsella for this one. This is.
I don't agree with a 3-ship hand list anymore being particularly dominant or particularly good anymore. There's just too many beef. There's just too much hull.
It's going to struggle. I think this is a. I think this is actually a pretty well thrown together team. I think this one's going to do well, both because of the players and also because of the lists. These guys get my vote. Also, sorry, I missed that. Shout out to the bonus points from Nobby.
Yeah, no, they actually. I had to go hunting for the information because they're the only team that just could not fill in the form, and so I had to go like through 3 different sources to track down all the information. So
Thank God the last one is 4 Seamuses. That was easy.
Fair enough. Liam, do you want to take Team Scotland?
Yes. So we've got Rory Wilson, Christopher Bremner, mostly known as Bremy. I've had the pleasure of playing him at the STO twice.
Yeah, he's good.
And Paul Warrington. So we've got Wolf, Oddball, Contrail, and Delta 7B Obi. Then we have Bosk with Forlom Agredo, Lando in the Escape Craft with Attack Officer, Joy Rekoff with Cutthroat and Iron Torps, and then Prince Sizor. That's similar to what he ran at the STO as well. And then Paul Warrington is running Jess Parva, Red Squadron Expert ×2, and then Finn with Heroic. Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about that. The Resistance list seems fairly solid, and it's 3 X-Wings and one of the most consistent hitters and defensive ships in the game, in my opinion. Remy knows exactly what he's doing with the Scum Jank. Rory Wilson is an unknown quantity to me. I don't know if you guys
He's
can
not a
fill in
team captain,
any
mate.
information there.
He is a good pilot.
Yeah. He
He didn't pick me. He didn't pick me.
Yeah, there we go.
Screw you. Screw you. Shit. No offense. I didn't mean it. But shit.
Also, I'm fairly
and
sure.
Liam's off his leash.
I'm fairly
Take a
sure
while.
I owe him a kiss at the STO for like the Scots. So I'm going to go out my way to praise Scotland. These guys did a lot better than I expected at the XTC, and I think that they could do quite well in this tournament as well. Yeah, I think this is going to cause some pain. I really like that.
Without saying anything negative about any of the rest of the XTC team, this is their cream rising. This will be a good strong run.
Yeah, this is good. All right, and more Dutch. Connor?
I'm waiting for the screen to catch up on my end here. Okay, so I know Just. I know 2 of them. I don't know Bastian Tasman. So we'll do a quick run. Bastian is running us with a 4-ship Republic list. Republic seems to be the choice in most of these so far. I mean, it's Republic or Cis, right?
Yeah.
It's been more often Republic than Cis, and yeah, it's because it's always been pretty unpopular. Then we've got Jake Ahsoka Dash. May you rest in hell, Juiced. Is that the faction that you refer to as the French Dash list? That won one of the GSP events, and is horrible in every possible way, and will no doubt do very well. And then Mikael running 4 Red Squadrons with heroic ATP and heavy laser cannons. So yeah, I like one of their lists. Not going to put them over Scotland at this point, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
And I say I like it, I absolutely despise it, but it's a very good list.
yeah. So I think based on this, like if we have a look at the teams in here, this is gonna be a fist fight. I reckon
Scotland.
we're not gonna see I don't think we're gonna see a clear winner here, but Scotland are gonna make a mess. It's gonna be
Who
fun.
did Nobby vote for in C?
Who did Nobby vote for in C?
Oh, you went for AMG, didn't you?
I mean, I can see why.
Malaysia, because they were local.
No, Nobby went for Scotland. Nobby
Oh,
went
did
for
he?
Scotland.
Yeah, go on, Nobby.
No, I do. Yeah, put on Scotland.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I couldn't vote for that AMG because they made me work. For
That's
the list,
also true.
So penalty points for that. Yeah.
Oh, P.S. On Pod D, I'm doing Steel Takers.
Yeah, I mean, entirely
Weren't
fair.
they late in?
Yeah, Steel
No,
Takers were
I
late.
did actually.
They were late in the base that they did it in the middle of your stream when I sent them a message.
So, Chris,
That's right. Yeah,
do you wanna break down your own pod, or do you want one of us to do it?
I can do it. That's easy. All right. So we have Hunks of Junk first. I think I've played both Reinhardt and Joe. Joe is really, really good. I think we've met in 2 or 3 tournaments, and I don't think I've won against him once. So he's really good. Just taking a look at their list. So this is where the Jedi Knight with Battle Med, Chopper, and spare parts.
Yeah.
And then you have 3 Jedi Knights with 7B. So I think that's the most effective way to get around those, because now you've got 2 coordinates in there instead of just 1 on R2, and then it's also a Jedi, so it can escape, and it's got choppers, so it can stay alive a bit longer. Then we've got another dash list with Wedge and Fen Rao, which I think is really fun, because now you have an I6 coordinate instead of I1, because I know most people take AP5, some people take Jake to get that option. But with Fen Rao, it's pretty cool. I mean, I don't even remember his ability.
Fen Rao basically says you don't get any mods unless they're Force.
Got it.
Yep.
Yeah, so I believe all 3 of these guys are from Japan's XTC team, but I think that they were all just mercenaries for the team.
Yeah,
USA.
Joe.
Joe Condon lives there.
Yeah, Joe
Yes,
and Paul
I know
Adler
Joe lives
live
there. Yeah. But yeah.
Side note, I want to give a quick shout out to Joe because Joe did me an absolute solid. My girlfriend was moving to a house, so I wanted to get her a proper authentic Japanese tea set. So I went and spoke to Joe, and he sent one over to me because he's a lovely, lovely man.
Oh my God, Joe, you get to be an American. You're like the only person in the world who actually gets to be from the US of A for Liam.
I know, right? On a separate note, I know that a couple of people have already said this. This team is one of the scary teams in the entire tournament.
XTC times 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
These guys are.
Oh, XTC times 3? Oh, we're just getting started.
Yeah. But
This is the first team in the pod.
every single one of these guys are old school Vassal players. They've been beating me up for about 5 or 6 years on Vassal, and they are all really scary. Shout out to Ryan Fleming for being one of the original Coruscant attendees in 2016. Yeah, it's they've been here a while. All right, next one.
So this is the Colombian team.
I feel so sorry for you guys. I really do.
Yeah.
This pod is Nobby's biggest cock up by a fucking mile. Because these poor Colombian guys are going to get crushed. I really hope I'm wrong. Really hope I'm wrong. Hands up for that all day long, but you're in such shit.
I've played Carlos before. Really fun. And, they've got some pretty standard lists. They've got the Warthog list that we've seen before. Except you drop one of the 104s for 2 gold squadrons. You get a little bit more. You get more numbers and ships rather than beef and guns. Then you've got Carlos's Leia, Ahsoka, Luke list. That's pretty fun. Leia with Shattering Shot is really good because she just focuses up, waits to get hit, and then comes back at you with a lot. So it's pretty fun. And then Ahsoka with Concussions is nothing to scoff at because she's punching hard basically the whole time. And then you've got kind of like Resistance beef that we've been seeing. You have the Heralds of Hope Poe with 2 other X-Wings, and then you got Lulo there. So pretty solid stuff. I think
question, Crispy. Do you think
new.
any of those lists are optimized?
Yes. Sorry.
Which one? Which one?
This is
I would
literally...
maybe,
Sorry.
yeah, I would maybe change concussion on Ahsoka to instinctive prockets, but like other than that,
Yeah.
and the Warthog is like very, very good.
Well, the Warthog's a nick list. I'm not saying it's. I'm contemplating nicking it myself, but yeah, it's an absolute monster list.
Yeah.
I think
But,
if you...
Oh, we've got Carlos in the chat as well.
Yeah.
Hi, Carlos.
If you purely
Hey.
base this on lists, like, this is a terrifying team. I think this is a really good combination of lists that are very hard to kill, because this is basically the one that won Camino. People are going to sleep on this. Like, this is very, very
I don't think that's
tanky
true.
and very hard to kill.
Sorry, the second one.
Yeah, second one. And this, I mean, it's 4-ship beef resistance, hard to kill, very annoying. Lulo versus Kaz is an interesting argument. I prefer Lulo. I like that.
Well, I gotta say, Mr. Korea, I'm absolutely fairly 98% certain was my XTC opponent for Colombia. So I'm giving these guys no shade. This is just a horrific pod.
And this is the problem, because then you get this.
Yeah,
Right?
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the one that I laugh my ass off. I'm sitting at work when they're talking about this and when they're pulling these, and neither Nobby or Aaron have clicked who these guys are. Like, it's just like steel takers, right? We're just going to ignore them. At about, I don't know, 45 seconds in, Nobby goes, hang on a second, Sith takers! And just bangs the bet straight on top of them. And I'm sitting going, this might be the strongest UK team.
It's when
Not the strongest European team.
it's when Nobby realised that Tom Reed exists.
Tom Reed,
you
Dan
can see it
Affleck, Chester
happen
Smith.
on his screen.
Yeah, it was like when someone said Tom Reed, I'm like, I know who it is. It clicked, and it was just like, why? This is why he couldn't have submitted the form in time. I could just DQ them, right? I mean, you saw it; they were late submitting the form, right?
Yeah. So
Best way to deal with Tom Reed: disqualify him before the start of the event.
yeah,
There we
this
go.
is going to be
We
a
play
punch up.
these guys first round.
Yeah, good luck.
Do you know what's
Yeah.
great?
Chester Smith. Somebody want to remind me what Kez's run in the XTC was with
6-1.
FO.
6-1
6-1 in the
followed by
finals.
in the finals he won like 8 of them, I think.
Yeah, it's something ridiculous, like 14-2 or something like that.
Yeah, this is this is a pod. So that's 3 of the teams, and then we get Chris.
Supposed to be like Crispy do his own, really, shouldn't we?
All right. Yep. So we got our lists. So we're all, unfortunately, like most of us are, all 3 of us are ace players. So unfortunately, we couldn't all just run the same list. But we all did one in I6 that we could kind of lean on, and then we had to make the rest of our lists different. So Spinner has Django and all that nonsense with Grievous and 404. I have Vader Defender, and then with the heaviest death rain the world has ever seen. I love that list. It's kind of like the only reason why I'm famous.
Come back, Charles.
And then we've got Man Chicken's got Poe, and he's got a couple other good ships, ZZ Tallyfin. So, to be fair, I think we've got pretty good lists. It's just our opponents are going to from as a captain's perspective, we're going to do great. We're going to mop the floor with these guys. From a realist perspective, we're going to be lucky to win one game. Not a team match. One game.
Are the other
against
Vipers
anyone in our pod?
anywhere near as good as you?
So Spinner and I trade. The Man Chicken has been playing online for 3 months,
Right,
and he just got into Resistance.
I'm not going to accept this. I'm writing myself off crap. Since you've jumped to Squadron and just keep flattening us all one after another.
To be fair, the wonderful Colombian man who had played TTS for 3 days did also beat me. So I'm not saying like the amount of times that you played on TTS is but regardless, I think this is this pod. If you're going to watch a pod, this one's one to watch. There's going to be some great games in here.
So about an hour before we hopped on here, not before we went live, Tess and I drew pairings. So we have the first matchup, the first round, and it's all of the trilogies fighting each other. So our 2 separatist lists are going head to head. I'm taking Dan, and then our resistance is going up against their first order.
Cool. I kind of want to see the droid swarm against this. I feel
Yeah,
like
Crispy.
that.
Sorry.
Sorry, you go.
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, Crispy, I have one recommendation. Go first. Because in those matchups, you've got the best chance to win this, and they're going to need something to run after. Because after that, those matchups sound really problematic.
Yeah, so I'm going up against Han, Gavin, and AP5. So I have a 6 and 4. He's got 6, 4, 1 for initiative. So Rhoda's going to play a big factor. But I've got the electric proton bomb. So
Yeah.
I'm going to chuck that in the middle and hope it hits someone that isn't one of my ships.
I am so disappointed you didn't manage to pair yourself into the droids.
I wanted to do that. That was the plan. All right, we had two matchups that we wanted to get. And I mean, you can't guarantee them. We wanted our I wanted to take on the droids, and then we wanted Django to go take Kylo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we didn't get either of those, but I still think that we've got good shots here because they only have one I6 among them.
Yeah.
So we have Django's moving last in his matchup, and then Poe is moving after Kylo.
Yeah. The difference. It's going to be really interesting because like you've got the Proxmine bombers into the A-wings. So if the A-wings play it perfectly, then they just win. But if they make a single mistake, then it explodes.
Yep. And with Grudge, you can basically guarantee that that's 2 to 3 damage per proxy.
Mm-hmm.
So the A-wings cannot get caught, and they just need to basically survive and then let Poe go harass Kylo.
Yeah, for sure.
I have faith in my team. I promise.
It's going to be good. I think it's going to be a big deal that we don't knock anyone out. So to clarify, no one gets knocked out in the group stages. Everyone goes through to the top cut in this tournament. But the group stages, your 3 games in the group stage, are seeding you. So if you come in the top, I think the first one is essentially the cutting it down to a top 32. So yeah, we'll go from there. All right, moving on. Cerberus Boys and Filth Down Under Nobby. You have a couple to take here. Do you want to take New Zealand, lads?
Yeah, so that's from Team New Zealand. I believe they were all played in the XTC as well. We've got General Grievous, 3 of the Separatist firefighters. There we go, and we've got basically it's like a salad there, and 2 of the drones with struts. Seeing a lot of struts happening in the Separatist list simply because parking on rocks is good. Another dash list, disgusting. Banning all the dashes, just so you know. We'll put that out there. We don't want to have any dashes in this game. Hera B-Wing and Kyle. And then we have Blair flying a Heralds of Hope Poe, the incorrect one. We do have the R5 Kaz. We have Jess Palmer with M9, one of my favourite combos, and a Red Squadron Expert. So,
ooh, this is Chris.
3T70s and Kaz.
This is Chris. This is Chris. It's out of my head. Burnett's list from the GSP top cut for Alderaan.
Yeah.
Oh, the Commander Poe.
Card for card one.
Yep.
A very good list, and honestly, Chris kicked ass with it.
It is.
He topped X the qualifier, and then he cut on the in the main one as well.
Shout out to the Resist tank for naming this Commander Chris.
I'm sorry, Chris, for forgetting your surname. It's popped out of my head. There's too many damn Chris's.
Yeah, this is the official name is Commander Chris, and they've been making sure that they put it consistently into List Fortress to make sure that it stays as Commander Chris. Yeah, this is I don't like this. This one, these lists can go away, and they can not touch me in bad places. I don't like any of these.
Yeah. I have to agree with you on that. They're in different parts. So I don't have to worry about it.
All right. This is where we shout Khan at the top of our lungs, right?
Khan!
Yeah, this is
Who's
also
in the chat? Good, gladly.
But you missed.
He is there.
He missed chattering.
Don't inflate his ego anymore.
I've still never played him, so I'm looking forward to the day it happens.
Yes.
I have. He's lovely. And he feeds your ego.
What?
It's nice.
Wait, what? Australia's trying to be an exporter for years.
Wait, what? Oh dear. Yeah, I think Mr. Khan needs some revenge. There aren't any buys in this tournament, so he's okay. Everything is fine.
So Australia's got a chance.
There we go. Nobby
there's-
just died on camera.
It's the only person they did beat, so surely they're going just.
Yeah, but for 4 weeks,
Oh,
Liam,
and
it was
no?
touch and go.
It was epic struggle. It's like, Rocky 7, Australia versus the back.
Oh God, it's fine. It's fine. Just don't talk about our finals run. Okay.
Ours.
Yeah, I like this. I like all of these a lot. Good team, good lists. Again, we're seeing this 3 ship. I think people are underestimating this. I think this is good. The Leia, Ahsoka, Luke.
This is good. Yeah.
I'm certainly underestimating it. Get out there and prove me wrong, people.
And
It is solid.
I think it's a pile.
triple.
So let's prove me wrong.
Okay, so my view on this is that I think the trick of the list is not allowing Leia to the end game. Because I think what the list wants to do is it wants to make you spend ages killing Luke and Ahsoka, and then you'll end up having to kill a Falcon at the end of the game, and that's a problem. I think if you just nuke Leia from the word go, then these two are going to struggle to do enough damage. I don't know.
I'm just going to jump in here. We've had a comment in the chat saying Von Reg just isn't a closer. I think you'll find a well-flown Von Reg can close anything.
Except the Soontir fell against a bomber. Or is that the wrong way around?
I think against a Fire Spray, Von Reg struggles. Against another ace, he's great.
This is definitely a lot more balls to the walls than your usual standard 3-ship FO list. I mean, running Von Reg with your 4 hull and running Breach with your 2 greens, that's some balls.
I like this though. I think because we had the one earlier with double BAs. I think that Breach is better than the second BA. I think this is a better 3-ship list. I'm a lot more scared
I agree,
of this.
but I also don't think it's right. I'd be playing Rush and
Okay.
Recoil.
Yeah, I think Rush just out and out is better than Von Reg.
Fair.
Like-
Ooh, Bean, you can have that chat later.
Okay, but see, here's the thing: if you're bringing Breach, you can just bring concussion bombs, and then you can get them in the I6 already. And so, for like just a couple extra points to go from Von Reg to Rush, you're already at I6, and you get 1 extra hull. So all you got to do is, if you're already bringing the bombs, just make it room for concussion bombs, and they still get their use out of them.
Crispy's list building is back off the leash, people.
Okay, so here's an interesting question. As someone who doesn't know much, well, like I keep tabs on Australian players and everything else, but I don't play in the area. This to me is okay, these are the big names, right? That's what I look at and I go, okay, you got Ben there, you got Michael, you got Actor. Short of the Fosses coming back, these are the people that I know as the big boys from Oz. So, am I right in that conclusion, or should I be just as scared of the other people, Nobby?
No, by all means, they have proven themselves time and time again. They're all on the XGC team, but that probably doesn't say much because Team Australia and all that. But their list looks good, and if they can fly them, and I do know that they can fly them, so yeah, you should keep an eye on this team.
Yeah, because
Except
There
for
is
Khan, can't get past the cut.
One big flag: Actor Khan and Tom Reed playing 8 ship droids.
yeah.
That's actually a worrying sort of signal to the meta for me.
With struts, with lists that can ignore rocks in a deadly obstacle, just like I was talking with Khan about this beforehand, and it was like, well, especially when we're talking about whether or not we're going to implement the deadly obstacles, and he's like, well, if you go ahead, I already know I'm going to fly. Droids with struts is going to be really, really good in this format. And you're right, I think that's the way the meta's going to go back towards the 8-ship droids. Scary.
I can kind of understand
That's
it
a lot of
because
firepower.
with Nobby saying to everyone, okay, you have to fly varied lists. If you're gonna fly a swarm at the moment, I still feel like it's either Malorus or it's the droid swarm. And like Tom's taken Dom's straight up droid swarm list from the XTC. Actor obviously knows his droids well, so he's taken his own version. Yeah, I can see droids coming back for this. All right, carrying on. We have some more Dutch people. Did we have some more? No, wait. South Africa.
No, this is American.
This is
It's
American. John de Boer. Sorry, I got it wrong. I saw de Boer.
It's a very Dutch stroke South African name.
Yes.
Oh, I know JJ too.
All right. Take it away, Chris. This one's you.
Yeah, so we've got Zam with two looks like those are tri-fighters and then a vulture. So just I don't see I guess I3 blockers with Zam. Otherwise I think there are better combinations where you can go 4 or 5 vultures. But still cool. And you've got a whole bunch of stuff on Zam with Dooku detonators and shield. So that's pretty good. Then I think we got another 2 ship list here. Boba Emon, so not the dual fire spray that we normally see. Lots of fun stuff on there.
He's got skill volunteer on Boba.
And he doesn't have the gunner slot filled on Emon.
Interesting.
Can I just point out that I've played Charles Dillman before. I used Boba Eamon against him, and that's a Cad Bane on Eamon. That's a me thing.
That's definitely
Yeah.
a thing.
Cad Bane on Eamon is fun. For anyone that doesn't know, that means that it can boost before or after. After it drops a bomb, right? Boost and then drops the bomb, gets a red boost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you drop a bomb and you get a boost.
You lose the skill bombardier and the slave one and stick Lone Wolf on Boba there, right? Sorry, I don't know if we're going into minutiae here, but that skill bombardier is confusing me.
I think just probably ran out of points and only had like a couple of points spare.
Well, at that point, why not vet Turret Gunner?
That's a really big question.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then JJ's got Blackout Kylo Tavson. So solid. Looks like sensor buoy on Tavson, so that's pretty cool.
Yep.
And this is Whisper Kylo, so that way sensitive controls can go on Blackout. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Oh, this is fun. This is fun.
Yeah, that's a list that's just literally trying to catch you with coordinate and sensitive control Blackout. That's just trying to drop him behind a rock and fire.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, feel like maybe not optimized with these lists.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's not that far from being optimized though.
Yeah.
Like they've got like good stuff to work with. It's just like the upgrades here and there that I think there are questionable decisions.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, we say questionable, but everyone's got their own style.
Looks like this is the Oceania pod. Again, we got some pretty decent Aussies in this one. Although, I don't know, do I have to be nice to Sky Paladin?
No, absolutely not. In fact, it's required that you be nasty to him. So,
no, I'm going to step in again.
Go on.
Sky Paladin was one of 3 people that came to me to learn how to play against Bower, Kret, Zam, and Grievous in the XEC.
You were helping Australia?
No, because he was flying for the Philippines.
Okay.
Yep, that's right. And Guppy was as well, I believe.
Also fun.
Yeah.
Not that we didn't like Australia, but Philippines we needed to do well in ours. There was a certain thing going on there.
Yeah. So I mean, we've got 2-star Vipers here. This is. I'm just I'm looking at this and going, right, this one I don't want to see ever, because that is way too many proximity mines for anyone to have on the board at one time. But this is weird. We've got Kanan and double star Viper, and then we've got Maul and some more tri-fighters. Yeah, I don't know. Like this, I feel like this is going to be one of those teams that if these guys, if Chris gets paired into any form of like jousty list, he's just going to be fairly sad. But
it's interesting though. There's 5 of them. I mean, he's just going to go all in on it. I kind of like that.
Yeah. But you do need something out the front though. I flew a Grudge Swarm at a Team Java tournament, and I went 5-0 in Swiss. And it was basically exactly like this, except instead of skilled bombardiers, I had ion missiles. And and it's always fun to ionize people into bombs.
Yeah.
Skill Bombardiers does look a little bit excessive when you've got the pre-boost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Iron Missile over the Skill Bomb there.
So 5 ship list with 5 bombers running 5 sets of ions and 5 proximity mines. That could be an interesting STO choice.
That's a lot. I think this one is going to be. I want to see how these guys pair things, because these feel to me like very team tournament lists. They don't feel like standards like meta lists.
Absolutely.
Okay, before we move on, that's not Tri-Fighters in the Separatist list.
Oh, sorry, those are
That's the
Betty
Bulba.
Rubs. Those are the Betty Rubs. Little Bulbasaurs. I refuse to call it the Bulbalab. It is a Bulbasaur. But yeah, that's that. I feel like Maul should have a tractor beam if they were going to do that though. Just tractor beam things into the three jousty boys.
Yeah.
It's a guppy classic, we're being told.
Fair.
I have actually got no idea, none, if any of the 3 lists on that sheet are any good.
Yep. Never. No idea. Right.
That Dalen Oberos is absolutely nuts.
He can go wherever he likes.
Yeah, but it's a 3-ship
just
Guri
a
list, and one of
shame
those ships
he
is
missed the
Kanan.
I feel
I'm
like
just going to go and kill
Kanan
Kanan.
doesn't mean things are.
Yeah, but not when he's no way to defend himself. Star Vipers can't protect you.
I feel like they're expecting people to be flying aces, and if this comes up against something that isn't aces, like those 2 lists, just make like like that hollow that we saw. It's going to make that really really sad if they come up against this team.
Whereas your Rebel list will just chew it up in about 4 rounds.
Yeah, Guri's not going to have a nice time. But then Wedge does that.
And they're both I5. Is Darren I5? Dallin I5? I5?
No, he's I3.
I3.
Yeah.
3. Oh.
Kanan's a 3? Oh, yeah. I think I'll pick it as well.
I've got to ban someone. Give me a second. Add block list. Boop.
Bye, Liam.
Who have you
Whichever
banned?
amazing Russian person is sending stuff in the chat. All right. So in terms of that, it feels like this is going to be a fun fist fight.
4. He's 4, that's right.
For these guys, and I'm going to vote for Cerberus Boys because Team New Zealand is awesome. But yeah, I don't think I'm not going to bother going like, oh, this team is going to win, because otherwise we're going to be here forever. But
yeah, but it's fun.
It
I'm
is.
going to go for Panic Pilot Syndrome on that one.
I'm going with Filth Down Under.
You just lit the fire on the Khan there.
That's the thing. If I vote for Khan, he doesn't do well, so I'm going to not vote for Khan, and then he'll do well.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah,
It's a good pod though.
it is. Again. This is one to have fun with. All right. This I feel like this one is the other one that Nobby maybe missed a couple of people.
Yeah,
because
it's another one of who are these people? I've never heard of these people.
Dun,
At least
dun,
Aaron was quite
dun,
open about it.
dun,
He's like,
dun, dun.
I don't know what these people are like. And Bartosz for the first time probably ever. Nobody even mentioned him. He's like, whatever.
Yep.
Bartosz,
Well,
Golonka,
that's
and a
what happens when you
team.
don't submit.
Whatever.
Yeah. To be.
I just had my event document up there.
Yeah.
I didn't actually have the Discord where I listed all the players, so I just saw KG, and I just like KG. I know that, but I don't know who was.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, and I'm like they're late, so you know what? They get shunned.
To be entirely fair to Nobby, he had no idea who these players were, and this is basically Team Poland say hi.
Yeah.
This terrifies me. This is one of the other teams that I think have a very good chance of winning the entire thing.
And they're all flying lists that they're really comfortable with. I mean, did anybody else not see Bartosz throwing that monstrosity on the board?
Oh, I have played against this.
6 A-wings.
If you have not played against this, be very, very afraid. It's
got to be as good as him. I will be completely honest with that. You've got to be as good as Bart with it, but he's very good with it.
It terrifies me. This thing is very, very scary. I mean, like Golonka flying Django and things. It's interesting that he's changed to Maul instead of Zam.
It's the Quadro. It's gone back to the Quadro tap list.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't. It's not Sam Darth. It's Django Darth.
It's Django Darth.
Oh, I'm really confused.
Django Darth. Proxmine. Yep. Galonkas is fun. I mean, yeah, you've got Proton Torpedo followed up by... I mean, essentially, Maul's job here is just to do as much damage as possible, and then Django finishes things off.
It's
Yeah,
the
Maul's very
Boba
decent, that.
Dengar list in Sis.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I've tried to work around this archetype before, and I have not been able to make it work. It just Maul does die so fast. He really does, and even though he's putting out double attacks most of the turns, you have to put a lot on him in order for him to do any damage at all. And then by the time that you've lost him by the second engagement, which is mostly where you lose him, you haven't done enough. So I think he's got to be super aggressive, or he's going to trade really bad and need Django to clutch up.
I agree with the chat here, because Dom is saying that it's just a worse version of Django Zam, and Vince is saying that Maul's job is just do as much damage. Like, I think, as Chris is saying, if Maul does that damage, you win the game. If you can dodge or shut down what Maul is trying to do, then it should be relatively easy to win compared to Django Zam, because that interceptor is not that mobile.
But do you think it's actually going to suffer more in the Deadly Obstacles format than a Django? Or a Zam?
Well, he's confident. He's got the small rocks, but he has got 3 rocks. So
yeah.
Still
Large
the
spaces
smallest
and
obstacles
naturally going
available,
struggle.
man. Rocks or not, they're still the smallest obstacles available, and it's not really a difference anymore, because rocks, landing on any obstacle means you don't shoot now, so it's not really important to not hit a rock anymore.
yeah,
Do you take a damage?
Yeah,
from
but well, you can
everyone
still
now, or-
fly over.
that's a good point.
Yeah, they're
you can,
easier to fly over too.
You can fly over and get actions, so that's a good point.
Yeah,
That makes
and
sense.
you got enough hold there, so.
Well, either way, it's him.
Yeah. And do we want to talk about this monster?
What is this?
This is 4 Y-wings that will just ruin your day.
Oh,
Oh
God.
no, I hate this. This upsets me.
I really don't like that either. That is scary.
This list says you're not allowed to have fun.
This list says I'm
That's
staying
rude.
in range 3 of you for as long as humanly possible.
Yeah. But it's
And I
got
got big holes in you.
it's got engine upgrade.
Yep.
It's got engine
Yeah,
upgrade.
Yeah, they can close the distance fast.
Yeah, they got to do it through rocks.
I'm really curious about this, because I love the interaction between the automated target priority and the Y-wings. Like, they come in, they shoot at range 3, they deliberately miss, they load up a load of calculates so that they can just roll in and have all the calculates in the world whenever they need them.
And
I mean-
any action that they do, is that right? Like if they do barrel roll, they do boost, or they do target lock, they get a second calculate.
Yeah. However,
Fun this is
However,
gonna be.
they are only 7 hull, and they are 1 agility. And there is only 4 of them, so they will go down.
They really will. I'm not as terrified as you guys are with this.
We're about to get to you, Rich, I think.
Shall we do Rich?
The leg is pretty cool though. I like
Yeah.
that.
Anyway, yeah,
They-
this team, scary team. B team.
The official second place, because scoring inconsistencies, second place of the trilogy, the second trilogy event. Yeah. Don't rule them out there. These guys, Madam Duke loves her fast praise, and she's only got 1, which is disappointing.
Madam Duke is playing the exact same list she played in Alderaan, and I played her in round 1.
I know it. Yeah, she was sad. She was very, very sad. It's like Connor. Yeah, it was like I had to face Connor first round. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I was perfectly sure.
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
I mean,
So Lachlan Moore, he's known for flying droids. So General Grievous, he's actually using one of the I5s. So we did not ban the tri-fighters, the dial peaking tri-fighters. So he's got 2 of them. He's got 4 of 4, and then what we have, Dobson flying 3 of the TIE Whispers with backdraft. So, look, all I can say is that each of those 3 know how to fly their list. They have had lots of practice with each of those,
Yeah.
so they should be pretty good.
and this is the thing, like, if you're going for comfort means quite a lot. So
Yeah, huge.
I'm curious to see this.
Big fan of it as a concept.
Yep. I'm also curious about this because we've got 3 of the little jammy monsters in a list. You don't often see that many of them, so I'm curious to see how well that works.
Yeah, I'd like to see that list on the board, to be honest.
Yeah, it should be fun. And
I do actually wonder Ketsu. Ketsu though now with the I can look. Magic knows how to fly bubble. That's fine. Ketsu now with the deadly obstacles. That's my only concern. You're not going to get as much tractability with the Ketsu as you usually do.
Yeah, because you can't.
Also, he's big and fat and generally goes over rocks.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Right. Moving on. Lovable rogues. Is this Australia?
You mean Lovable Rouge?
Is this America?
This is actually a basically a lone wolf list. I got some people that were interested to play, put them all together, and then boom. So we actually got 2 Aussies in here. Joshua and James are actually both locals. And Arnie actually I think is an Australian as well, but he's in New South Wales, I believe.
Gotcha.
But they just were thrown together for the event.
Well, I'm gonna, from the looks of this, fairly straightforward. This one very straightforward. This one very straightforward. This in the middle, scum janky thing. It's interesting. I'm not sure it. I don't know. Like you got Justera, you got a lot of indirect damage. Could be fun. I'm curious to see how these guys do. Don't know much about them. All right, Liam, do you wanna talk about your team?
My team.
No, it's
my team.
sorry, it's not your
It's
team.
not, this is the
your
second team or the first team that he literally snubbed. Now,
Yeah.
which one? Which one got in to the stub? Now, there's the question.
Okay, so we've got.
Sorry, I'm getting it. There we go.
Okay, so we've got Richard Polly running. It's all fuzzy. 2 Loyalist Volunteers with the ESK title. 204th Battalion Pilots. That's the ARC 170. And then Warthog with Ghost Company 5s and Commander Cody, which means he's double tapping, throwing out strain, and then shooting you with the rest of the list.
It's our second copy of this list, isn't it? Oh no, it's not. He's changed it.
Then we've got Ben Hibbert with the TIE Brute, Littendry with Sync Laser Cannon and the targeting assist. Rear Admiral Shinru, Rack, whatever, with Vader, BT1, Proximity Mines and Dauntless, and then soon to fell with Predator. And then to top it off, we've got Tim King with Commander Malorus, Proud Tradition, Gideon Hask in the Z Shuttle as well, Muse with Proud Tradition automated target priority, and 3 Zeta Squadron pilots.
Those are Initiative 3, right?
No, Initiative 2.
Initiative
Omega
2.
is the 3.
Okay.
They're at I2 to match with Muse.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
So we've got 2
These are
players
all-
playing lists they're super comfortable on. Tim King has gone straight back to the list that he played in our team event like a year and a half ago that he just kept winning with.
He also smashed a GSP event with this.
Yeah. So and then you got Rich Polly playing another 5-ship resistance. Fuck's sake, my head's way up my arse today. Republic list, and this is another player who very much enjoys his beef. So the only one I'm curious about is Ben's.
Ben's run this for a bit as well.
Yeah, because this one stood out to me when I scrolled through all of these lists, and not normally the place that you see Littendry for rerolls is in a 3-ship list.
Yeah. Admittedly, I've played him with this list, and the first thing I took down was Lytton, because I was like, that can die in one volley against the Malorus Swarm.
Yeah.
So I never saw the full list in action.
Yeah, I don't know.
I might be stealing Rich's list.
I think
actually.
to be fair, like if you just want a chunky support ship that can roll in and do some damage, I can see why it's there. Not like I like the Rack and Suntir thing. I feel like the problem that you've come across is that you've run out of points for the 3rd ship, whereas realistically you kind of want Duchess. I'd just be tempted to chuck in Duchess for Predator if I'm honest over Lytton, but that's my ace player coming out. Oh, it's apparently something
Question.
Sutcliffe was running.
I was going to say, like if you ignore Dree, then at least you give support to Rak and Suntia with rerolls on the offensive side. Like, is that maybe why they've gone Dree instead? So,
That is a very good
the,
point.
the big pieces that you want to take out,
Suntia does love rerolls.
like at least does something to help the team if you ignore Dree. So most people will go for Dree. So which means you got Rak and Suntia, your two big pieces just not being touched.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what you want, right? You want Rak or Suntia to be the end game, so something that looks squidgy. I mean, yeah, Malarus.
He's got some hull across the board, and
Yeah.
he's got the Ace of Legend. This could be a sleeper.
I'm curious. I mean, regardless, I think we know these guys are good. Sith Takers are one of the decent squads in the UK. It's going to be interesting to see them play. So
Big up Sith Takers.
for the Pod F, we've got KGK. I'm sorry, I can't not vote for Team Poland here.
I ain't gonna vote Sith Takers. Fuck yourself.
I'm going Sith Takers.
I think I actually predicted Sith Takers, but the KGK. I mean, 6 A-wings. I can't go against 6 A-wings. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you
More
got
A-wings.
to go K-wings now.
Yeah.
A-wings are trash.
You take that back.
Why?
We
No.
apologise to everybody who's not Sith Takers and KGK.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, B team and Rogues, I hope you put up a good showing. It's a good thing that there is not a cut-off in this event, I think.
Yeah, I'm assuming Trilogy was a bit smaller last time, Nobby.
Well, last time it was the second one. We had 10 teams. We had to do it in a day event, and it was just it was a Swiss, but it was basically it was all of Brisbane. I think we had like 30
So we've added a little
people.
bit more international blood to this one.
Yeah.
We absolutely.
Yep. And
I think I should also point out that because if you're in the pod now and you play against a team, the good news is that when you go into the elimination bracket, you won't face that team until like the semi-finals. So they won't face KGK again until like semi-finals if they get through.
Yeah.
Just saying. So it's actually good to have a nasty team in your pod. It means that you don't have to fight them till right at the end.
Yeah. Chris is just
Or
like,
fight 'em again.
this worked out perfectly.
So who wants to do the next one? Because it probably can't be me and Ollie.
Righty. Well, it can be. I mean, we know a fair bit about it.
we do. So I don't know if anybody knows this about us, but we're playing for plastic and we're playing for cardboard. But we set a server up for this and have about 10 hours of chat on that server.
That's fine. We never take anything seriously.
As if you
But
didn't
I just wanna
invite
say
me to the
that-
server.
I kicked you out of it, in fact.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You kicked everybody out of it.
Oh, oof.
So I was going to say,
This
yeah,
team is
go on,
sorry.
Abby.
This team is an Aussie team. As a local team, they're all new players. You guys be gentle to them.
Scare
okay?
Bear has been rather pleasant about that. He's like, oh, fuck. It's like, hey.
Now we're going to be nice
keep
to
an
him.
eye on Daniel Noble. So Daniel Noble is probably the ace of the three. He is also a new player, but he has been excelling really, really well. Jack and Riley, they normally play against each other. They are still just getting. I'm not getting into the game. They've been playing for a while now, but they are still at the novice level, I would say, in competitive. So this is just a learning experience, which is why we do the event and open it up to everybody. But Daniel's been doing really well. So, and you can see he's got probably the medalist out of the three.
No, it's good. So these guys are our first round opponents.
We have discussed this matchup excessively.
Yes. So this one should be good fun. I actually really like all three of their lists as a combo. I think they cover each other's weaknesses a fair bit. You have a beefy boy up the top. Fair few people going for the Vader in this. And then obviously you got Rey with Poe. This is, I mean, yeah, you've got aces, you've got beef, and you've got what I would essentially call a swarm. Because Defender Vader is kind of like 4 ships on his own. But it's a good Defender Vader list. So, yeah, this one's going to be fun. I mean, Chris, I'm curious. What do you... Because you love flying Vader with Death Rain, right? So...
Absolutely.
There's a lot of people, including Mr. Tyler Tippett, that will swear that this is the best list in the game. How do you think it compares...
It is the easiest. Sorry to cut you off. I think that is the easiest way to fly Vader Defender. And if you want to get into Vader Defender and you want to learn how to be good, you take Vader Defender and you fly 4 TIE Fighters. Because you know how to fly TIE Fighters, that's easy to do. And then from there, you just focus all your attention on getting better with Vader. It's still a good list. It's not just like a training list. But I do absolutely love my Death Rain list, especially because his weakness is really falling to multiple ships. Vader can one-on-one any ship in the game, and I still stand by that.
Yeah.
He can
will
beat
argue
Boba.
that.
I will say the only ships that he can possibly beat him in a one-on-one are Han and Jango. And I maybe give you Zam.
Sunfac.
Oh, yeah,
Well, you're not throwing me on an obstacle anymore, buddy.
Yeah, he can't chuck obstacles anymore.
So Sunfac's not doing anything. But
Ouch.
I like Death Rain because he covers Vader's one big weakness. So if I go up against any list that loves to stay together or has a lot of ships, I just chuck the electric proton bomb out and then run.
Okay.
And then once
Crispy, you're going down the
What?
hole again, man. You're going down the hole.
Listen, I've already submitted my list. I might as well talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're going into the world of creation.
Alright.
For anyone that thought the electron proton bomb on Chris's list is a joke, turns out actually kind of good. I laughed at it and then it kicked me in the teeth. So, yeah,
It's just a good joke now.
it is. Should we
Yeah.
talk about this team?
No, that's scrubs. We can move on.
So
We're gonna be
we
disqualified
could
anyway.
all save ourselves quite a lot of time and effort by just declaring this team the winner and moving on to the next event.
No,
What
you
do you
can't
think,
do
Nick?
that because I wanna get a shot at you guys.
I'm sure you do.
So don't win yet.
So if we're gonna look at these lists, I'm guessing everybody is very, very surprised at what I'm flying. Something out of my comfort zone.
Never.
Something that I
never
haven't
flown
literally been
before.
flying. Actively discussed today is just selling all of my ships except my fire sprays. Because what the fuck's the point in having the other 220 of them?
So
I am actually going to retire these guys after this fucking event. I am going to put them away.
yeah, well, we needed different archetypes, so 2-ship list done. Yeah, we decided to go with comfort and throw 3 things on the table that were very, very annoying. Screw the team tournament. If we just take 3 really good lists, then it's hard to pair. So yeah, my list is basically a mobile advanced proton torpedo that has -1 agility attached to it because Wedge is been my baby since the Phoenix Squadron pack came out and allowed me to fly Hera Syndulla with him, and now I can fly Hera B-Wing with him because they're the same points. So it's great. And yeah, Dom. Yeah, proximity mines and grudge. What's not to love?
I'm not sure I've ever had anybody quite as intensely fucking prepared as Dom.
Yeah.
Dom is running this list 3 or 4 times a day against everything. And when I beat him, he spent like, I don't know how many hours working out why and then making sure it just never happens again.
Yep.
So I'm not saying, he's better than Liam in these circumstances, but since Liam turned us down, I'm
nah.
planning.
No, you can't say that because it ruins my entire facade.
Yeah, to be fair, Liam is still the only person to not be picked for a team. Because he was picked for 2 teams and then refused them. So technically he still wasn't picked for a team because he went into the final round when he realised he could actually play.
I was actually picked for 3, but I was amidst a mental breakdown, so I had to say no. And then things got better for me, so I decided to partake.
Yeah.
Who's the third team?
The Mike Upton asked me, who is now part of the Fearless Beards,
Yes.
and much to the dismay of Nobby, who then spent God knows how long trying to find me a team because I turned up late to the party.
You're a good man, Nobbs.
Yep.
And then we have this one, which is one of the teams that randomly got thrown together, but turns out is kind of scary.
Randomly thrown
Actually,
together.
that's right.
Yep. So, Mr. Brody.
Well, they're both submitted. So they weren't randomly thrown together. They were all submitted into the Lone Wolf application saying, look, find me a team. And then I saw the names and I'm just gone, it's going to be actually a scary team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So we know of Mr. Brody. Chris, how well do you know Drew?
Um, he sounds familiar. I don't think we've ever
I
met
think
or played
because
before.
he is he's stateside, right? He is stateside, I think.
I think so. Is
Yeah,
he
Drew, so
on West
Drew's
Coast?
America, Mark is Australian, and Eno is German.
Yes. So they have the biggest time difference of any team. But no, these
boy.
and also, I mean, come on, we Gargor, we got Gargor on a scum list. What is this?
It's 28 points. Is what that is.
Yeah. But no, this
No,
is
because Dengar can target lock him and then shoot him with a jamming beam if he
Hey,
has
Brody.
no other decent shot, which puts an auto crit on anything that's bumped into Gargoyle.
there we go.
Yep.
Yeah, this is fun. I mean, you've got Infiltrator, and all of the face punchy, and Liam. You got some fact?
Are we happy?
What? He's got some fat.
It's got snare. Shall I zoom in on this just so
Oh,
we can pop?
Juke?
Because I feel like we should talk about these lists.
They're all a
What
bit
do you
confusing.
want? No, I don't care. He's got some back within snare. Screw you all.
Okay, but
What a
what's
hero.
Juke doing there?
I have no idea. I'm guessing this guy takes evade more than anything else.
Which makes sense. I mean, if you got Doofus for the calculates, right? So you lob him a calculate and an evade and then juke things.
Yeah.
It is a bit odd, though.
Well,
Can't say it's not a bit odd.
you've got Kraken, so Sunfac ends up sitting on two calculates basically permanently. DBS sits on another.
Wait. How does someone get a calculate?
Because he gets thrown
DFS.
by
Oh,
DFS.
DF. Yeah, never mind.
Yep,
Never
yep.
mind. Yep.
So
Yep.
he evades every turn. He gets thrown calculates and then can keep them because of Kraken. DBS also gets thrown calculates, and then you just throw the infiltrator at people and intimidate it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's an awful lot of effort to achieve things you can achieve with just not playing Sunfuck.
You take that back.
I'm a fan, but he's very much weaker than he used to be.
The other one, shout out to Drew. He's in the chat. Also, shout out to Isaiah as well because I have a lot of time for Isaiah.
Are those the bombers with snapshots?
Yes.
5 bombers with ATP and snapshot. 5 2-dice guns with 2-dice guns.
I kind of love that. Not gonna lie. I think that's fun.
Because you can always boost into a horrific position, so snapshots will trigger.
Yep.
Yep.
And you've 30 hull.
Okay,
Something else, I'll give it that.
10 shots a turn. What are you scared of?
10 2-dice shots with 30 hull, 2 green.
And with ATP.
Yeah.
So if you miss, that's just like, hey, just put it in the bank and
Yeah.
Load 'em up, load 'em
get
up,
back
load 'em
out
up.
later.
It's really fun. And then obviously you have that Dengar Bobber, and Eno has managed to fit a third ship into Dengar Bobber somehow.
Eno will not let Bubba die. I have to say, I've seen him play it about 5 or 6 times, and we've never played it even vaguely similar. But this is definitely comfort play for Eno.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to playing these guys. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, we've already had the chat. You can have Eno.
Yeah.
I'll work my way around fucking 10 shots a turn into. No, I won't. That sounds terrible. We'll talk about this later.
We'll give it to Dom. It's like, right, you know how the bombers work. You can deal with those. All right, and final one. Sorry, let me zoom out a little bit. Words. Nobby, do you want to take the second Australian team?
Yeah. This is a Queensland team as well. We've got Sean with the droid. He has been playing Separatist for a long time. We've got the is it 2? Yep, 2 of the Tri-Fighters with the Predator and independent calculations. We have a total of 4 Trade Federation drones, 4 with Discord missiles, or all with independent calculations and the struts. 1 without the Discord missiles, and then a DF3, the Butterbot. Also, they just sit on the rocks and toss out the calculate tokens. Very nice list. I think Sean has been flying this for 2 years now.
Hmm.
So he's got lots of reps with this kind of list. So it'll be good to see. Corey, also known as Mr. 4K, with Luke and two Rogue Squadron escorts. E-Wings is good with proton torpedoes, going to hit very hard. Luke with the Iron Torque for a bit of control. I actually like his list. I personally prefer the wedge version better with afterburners, but this is still good. Ships are pretty hard to hit. The R3 for the double locks means basically go in with the double mod on two targets. And also Corey is known to have TTS weighted dice, so watch out for him.
Yeah.
And then we've got Josh B flying a resistance list, Poe, Ray, and Greer. So he has actually also been flying it for I think the last 6 months. So all of them, except for Corey. Corey has probably not flown this. Corey's normally not known for flying FOs. So the other two are in their comfort zone, but Corey's list is a bit interesting. I do like Josh's list. We've got Ray with Rose, Finn, the contraband. Yeah, the question is that A-wing. Maybe I would have changed it to something else, but Overdrive Poe still good.
Yeah, and this
Interesting to see.
this is basically very similar to the Rapo that I flew, but they've managed to fit an extra ship in because they no longer need to build to like
Yeah.
16-point bid.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems good. I mean, if Corey is going to be taking on a list that he doesn't know that well, that if you just give him an Alpha Strike list and tell him to just murder people, then that makes a lot of sense. I am scared of the droid swarm that can look at my DARs.
That's right. I didn't want to ban. Like the thing is, when it came to doing the ban list, like I didn't want to like get rid of a whole ship because it's an I5 Tri-Fighter, and I think Tri-Fighter at I5 is actually pretty good. We don't see it. We haven't seen it like abusing stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep it in because I want to keep the options open. And then you have lists like this that have two I5 Tri-Fighters that actually really nice to round out the list. So just even the potential to look at your dial makes it scary. So
Yeah. That's good. Right, so clearly we're winning the pod, but that's going to be fun. Like, I don't think... What?
Your humility remains awe-inspiring. Clearly, we're winning the pod.
Oh, dear.
Hot sauce, hot sauce, hot sauce.
No,
England wins
exactly.
XQC.
So I'm not betting on it this time. It's fine. Yeah, there is actually...
We are winning the pod, though, guys.
Yeah, we are winning the pod. It's fine. I'm genuinely scared of some of the lists in here, though. I think this...
Yeah, Nerf Herders is my next favorite knob. You can't really ignore Team Lone Wolf, but actually the Nerf Herders are the ones giving me a bit more of a scratch.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting.
just out of that pod, there's literally three. Majority of them are locals. So I'm actually stream. I think Fiesta versus the Nerd Herders are saying if they play in person. So I might actually stream that in person because they're all like locals. It's gonna be interesting.
That's going to be great. I mean, I absolutely get those games done on the table if you can, and very, very happy to have you stream some of our games if there are some fun ones. I might even do some streaming on this. Cool. Pod H, welcome to France. Let's get on to this. Shall I take the first one?
Go that.
Go for it. Yeah.
I will do this one. So very much welcome to France. Obi, Ahsoka, 3 Esks. I think this is low-key terrifying. 2 decent Delta Jedi and 3 things that are very annoying to kill. 5-ship list, pretty good and frustrating, especially when Ahsoka can put the Esks in places that you don't expect them. Then we have the standard triple Imperial, passives and stuff, and double 6s. Pretty good in a road world, 2 6s. This is a ace killer. If they manage to get this into any other ace list, I would expect it to murder it. And yeah, playing what is again another 4-ship resistancy thing, but this feels less 4-ship and more support for Poe. Like, this is basically, like, I know it's a Hero of Hope Poe and Commander Poe, but it still feels like get Poe to the end game version with the 2 sofas. Yeah,
Those sofas can hit hard though.
the sofas
I think
can
laser
hit hard.
cannon.
Yeah, this is exactly what I would expect from the French at this point, is taking slightly, like, for the top 2, they're good lists, they're just people haven't seen them before. And from what I've seen, they're really good at getting the most out of them. So I think these guys could do well. Alrighty.
You're just not getting any dissenting voices.
Nope.
I said at the XTC I think France were astoundingly good, and then they didn't let me down, but they didn't blow up.
Shall
They
I
let themselves down.
Shall I lob
Aye.
this one to Mr. Patrick? You've seen these names before.
Absolutely. So these are, I think, the crates. Pretty sure all three of them are a part of them.
Yeah, he
So
was
we have
now
Travis
great.
Johnson, yeah, well known. Zamgo there, and we've got Paul Heaver. Honestly, don't think I've heard of this one before. But
think he's a
pretty
new
decent
player.
list.
Who?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see him in any of the online tournaments, so he's got to be not a great player, right?
Oh, shit from Crispy! Woo!
Oh dear. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get slapped for that later. Dash Kyle. I think we've seen this earlier, but that's still pretty good. Once
Yeah.
again, we're seeing trick shot over expert handling, despite the dangerous obstacles. So that's gonna be fun. Still really, really hard hitter because you've got Kyle there and Hera to pass 2 tokens at a time with Jin. So yeah, 4 evades, and still pretty nasty. And then you've got Chris Allen. I've actually played him in person at Gen Con like 2 years ago for the North American Championship. Real fun guy.
Yeah.
Then you got Kylo and the Whisper, Extreme Predator Pattern, Tavson, Scorched Revis. That's a pretty solid salad.
It's an
Scorched
odd
and Revis
salad,
are. Normally when I see Tavson, I see an SF with them. Like people try to scrape points for Phasma. Because Phasma Tavson is surprisingly good.
Yeah, you
Busted.
just dump the damage onto.
Yep. And then you got, I mean, honestly, it's pretty solid. I expect him to do pretty well with it. And I mean, these guys are all great players as well, so they've got good lists and they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Is this the only other Zamgo in the tournament?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's taking a different approach to it. Not much of a different approach because of the Season Navigator Django.
But Thermal's without Dooku.
He's got Dooku. Dooku's
Is
sitting on Zam, man.
Am I just missing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't read. That's fine. I would have expected them to put him the other way round, having the thermals on the ship with Dooku.
Yeah, it's interesting. Unless he's going to run them just... I mean, because like Lone Wolf is no longer a thing, right? They tend to run closer than they ever used to.
Mm.
At least I run them closer together than they used to.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how these guys do. Obviously, like you look at this and you go, okay, we got some big names. I'm really curious to see the crates in a big international tournament as well, because I've seen these guys do well in America on a regular basis. They just clean house, and I really want to play them. Because I've played Paul a couple of times now on Vassal, and I've missed playing him. And last time he beat me up with Wookiees, so I need to get some revenge.
I'm just going to say I'm anti-crate because they're anti-ensnare. So, yeah.
Yeah, seems fair. Seems fair. I'm
Yeah.
also to throw a little bit of shade, because I couldn't quite get away with this without throwing shade. I like as Chris mentioned, these guys do not play a lot of TTS. I want to see how well they transition. I mean, the skills should transition fairly well. So I want to see how well they come across. Yeah, let's see what you got, boys.
I was gonna put sorry, just to go back to the crates.
Mhm.
I've got my own grudge with them. Completely not X-wing related. So before Viper Squadron was an X-wing group, we were a squadrons group. And we did play against them a couple times. And one time when I was recording, we went up against them and we absolutely kicked their teeth in. And we will hold that as one of our greatest achievements ever.
There you go.
So.
Oh, Crispy, you're so cute and young.
I'm going to reach out and I want to play more squadrons. So I'd like to play. Yeah.
I'm like nearly 40 and I've got squadrons. I'm really bad. Could you guys carry me?
I
I've
will
carried
try.
you before.
You did.
Yeah.
Chris can carry all of us. It'll be fine.
It's the only time you'll see me in an X-wing, an A-wing. Sorry.
Yeah. All right, and
Nobby just disqualified you again. Shit.
well, go on, Nobby. Shall we get the?
Okay.
Because
No.
Kogo has been throwing some shade around in the
Has
Smack Talk
he?
channel. So
Has
Well,
he been
he's
throwing
been
shade?
trying
Oh.
Just
to.
random drunken madness. Like,
I said I
what
was
the
going to chip in his gravy.
Hey, well, look, I think he's from New South Wales, so look, don't hold it against him. But Curtis is, I think, relatively new into X-wing. When I say relatively new, I think like last 2 years, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But he has to prove himself. So we've got what we got. We got Darth Maul with Malice, General Grievous, and 3 of the Separatist drones. So General Grievous, Imperium Plating, Solus 1, the drones with cluster missiles, grappling stripes, independent calculation. So kind of like semi-mini swarm in Ace, but I don't know. It'd be just interesting. Darth Maul with the trying there to put some damage in, big ship, and then 4 small ones. It's a little bit different from the usual droid swarm we see, but I guess you could say like a separatist salad, so should be interesting. We've got Nathan Skelly, 2 of the Delta. These are defenders with the title. So these are double tapping defenders, tractor beam, fire control system, and then Colonel Jendon. So get the target locks in the first turn. Should be an interesting list. Definitely, I would not say a meta list. It's something different. They're not going to be token stacking, so
random as fuck.
they will
Where'd
actually
you go
die.
for there? Random
Yeah, and then we've got Tom Johnson, Tommy One Kenobi. He's got Cova now with Leia. We've got Mr. Ninum, also known as Numbnuts, with Predator Pattern Analyzer, Advanced Proton Torpedoes. I do like that. That can actually be scary, Ninum. We've also got Poe with Predator, R4 Overdrive, and also APT. So those 2 X-Wings can hit pretty hard with Cova to support and also do mean things. Definitely a nice bit of a list diversity there. I would say it should be interesting. No, I don't think as scary as the Filthy Down Under, but should hold its own. Again, these are New South Wales, so I've only played them online. I haven't actually played most of these people in person, at least not for a while.
You guys have really got your own meta down under, haven't you?
Well, what Kogo was saying in the chat there is they were quite sad when they saw the level of lists that they might be playing against. So I feel like they were just like, yeah, we're gonna enjoy it. Oh god. But hey, like I'm really curious because no one flies the deltas with the titles. I want to see how well these things do.
Okay. I can say that it does not work well if you fly 2 of them. Don't worry, Connor. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of how I made it work. But I can say you only need 1 of them to make it work. 2, it does kind of fall apart.
Yeah. I'm curious.
Wow, that was really good. Well done, Chris.
Secret is jamming beams.
What I want to see is I want to see Tommy get this off, because the double APT in a single turn. Also, he needs to do the K turn into double modded APT, because that's amazing. Because Nien is allowed to do that. All right. Last bit then, another Aussie team. And this one...
Yeah, we had a few.
This one is fun. I want to talk about this... do you mind if I just quickly talk about this Rebel list? Because
go for it. You go do the whole list. You go do the whole team.
I love the look of this. So we got Wedge with Predator, standard stuff. Tnx with... he doesn't need anything. He's just got standard stuff. But then Blount, Sabine with Prockets, and Ezra. Personally, I would have ditched the Prockets on Sabine to have another A-wing in there. But this is a fun 5 ship. I really like this. I think I would have changed 10 to Hera, and I would have had a different A-wing in, because you can fit Shara. If you'd have ditched the Prockets and made Tnx Hera, then you could have had Shara as well. But this is fun. This is really fun. To go alongside that, we got another 8-ship droid swarm. We're seeing that quite a lot. This one's brought Discords. And then we've got Towson, Breach, and Kylo to finish off. Do you know these guys, Nobby?
Well, I know of them. Again, all 3 of these I think are New South Wales. So Khan would probably know a bit more, but I got to say, I like these lists more than I like the last one.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, these are much
Yeah.
more solid across the board, right?
intimidating.
Yeah. Yeah, and John has flown FO for quite a while, so I like his list. I think it matches his play style. Dan, I've seen play a few times online. Does like the Rebel Salad kind of thing, so I think that's also a really interesting list. Craig Walker, I don't think I've had the pleasure of playing any time recently, so I can't really comment. But it's droid swarm with struts and munitions and Discord missiles and everything yuck, so should do well.
This
Yeah.
is the first copy of the Alderaan winning list that we've seen. John
That's a good
Haynes
point.
is playing it.
Yeah. There's the one-
Alex, I'm not going to remember Alex's surname, but Alex who won Alderaan.
It's on the TTS mod.
Yeah, Alex Morganson.
Yes.
That's the
There
name.
we go.
Yep.
Yes. And this is coming from Cogo. These guys are big boys over in the New South Wales area, so this should be good fun.
Yeah.
All right. So out of those guys, I'm definitely voting for Team France because Allez les Bleus.
I'm
But-
going to go with the latter Aussies, to be honest.
Yeah, seems fair.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
I voted against
I'm going
France,
French.
so gotta go back to them.
I went French last time, all right? You've let me down, so maybe if I don't vote this time, you'll kick ass.
Yeah. All right. Pod I. We get some TMT. Back to
TMT.
It's dynamite.
yes.
TMT.
All right. So what we got in here? This is interesting. So we got Rick, we got Padme, we got Anakin. This is utter nonsense. This list. It's three N1s. They've all got juke. You got advanced protons. You got proton torpedoes. You got like proton torpedo. This, like, if someone put 3 N1s across the table from you, and you think, oh, that's fine, that's not a problem. Just wait until you play it. Don't get surprised by this.
Jason Prince, top 16 or top 8 in Alderaan. The guy can play.
Yeah, he's a good pilot. Then we have another Captain Smack Talk, Odin, who has been trying to versus Connor for the last couple of weeks.
He's also DMing me from work, and he's very upset.
They wanted to play us. They
We'll get
wanted to
there.
play us. I like this though. I've been on a Rebel thing, and who doesn't love getting punched in the face by a very, very angry 6 dice ghost? Seems good. Outmaneuver Wedge as well. Blech.
It's this is one of those lists you look at it and go, is it not just Dash, but not Dash?
Maybe.
Like, should it not just be Dash?
Maybe, but yeah, you couldn't fit Wedge and Jam with Dash. That's the problem.
No, okay. Yeah, your support ships are an upgrade, all right.
And this is I don't know. Like I feel
It's
like
just Dash with reinforce.
yeah, and then TMT. He's in the chat.
Oh, this
What are you doing? This is
this
amazing.
list can go die.
Oh my god! 7 ships.
He forgot to equip Deadman Switch before he copied them all, and then he sent them in.
Oh my god!
That's
But they've all got R5. They can all regen. Oh no, sorry, that's just Kaz.
No,
I apologize.
only Kaz.
It's just
only
Kaz.
Kaz.
Oh, good. That's good. Oh my god.
So there's no dead man switch, or you letting him have it?
No Deadman Switch.
No, I don't think there are Deadman Switch.
Oh god. But
I think Dead Man Switch fireballs actually went up with the new obstacle changes. Right? Like I've had games where I've lost with my Churi where I've committed a fireball into its death and only to blank out on the dice on the
yeah,
on the
right.
rock and not die. It's like now you can guarantee when those fireballs are going to explode up. So, Dead Man Switch is going to be good. But
Yep.
TMT does a lot of storms, so I think his this list will actually terrify some people.
Look, both Jason Prince and TMT to me are known quantities. If TMT's throwing some random shit at the board, I just assume it works. I don't know why yet.
Yeah.
And I have never played Odin, but given the fact that he's the second funniest fucker on the trilogy point, I just think he must be good. I gotta say, this is a good team.
I'm scared of this already because It's not normal. No one knows how it
Rose
works.
gets 6 rerolls.
Also, TMT throwing shade out in the chat. He's played it for a while. No need for Dead Man Switch if you fly better.
No ship dies. They don't need fucking Dead Man Switch, right, man?
And yeah, Rose gets 6 rerolls for when she rolls 6 dice.
Hey, look, I have also seen him fly this, and I have seen him take it on a list without losing his ship. So just saying, it could be possible.
Yep. Prepare your butts.
It is scary.
Prepare your butts. Okay. Alderaan shot first. Oh, this one's
I
fun.
like his team name.
Go on, Liam. Do you want to take this one?
Not really.
Fair
I'll
enough.
take it.
Go on, Chris.
Alright, I
But
recognize you
will.
guys.
Go on. Go on.
Brace yourselves.
All right. So we have Tegan, Huntington with Mace in the 7B, and then 3 arcs with dedicated. I've seen this archetype before. Normally it's with Obi-Wan, but with Mace, bring it down to I4. Battle Med is way cheaper. So you're
3 force.
prioritizing coordinate. Yeah, and 3 force as well, and then you can take all your squad 7s. Well, you can take all your arcs up to squad 7s with dedicated. So it's prioritizing putting more points on the arcs rather than taking Obi-Wan and 3 arcs. So I think that's pretty cool. I do like Obi-Wan being at I5, but Mace, I mean, if you get the matchup right, should be all right. Then we have Netter. Thank you for flying Vader, because I think like you and I are the only people that fly Vader consistently. I see you on Hexiled all the time, so shout out to you, and I appreciate you giving Vader some love. And then you've got 2 Foresight Inquisitors as well. So it's very, very solid. Vader is there to clean up while the Inquisitors chip away and stall for as long as possible.
Yeah, and I think the
and then you've
Inquisitors
got-
are better
oh, yeah,
than
go
the
for it.
Academies there. Sorry. Carry on.
Did we lose Crispy?
Alright.
Oh, he's back.
Yep. Sorry. Dorm connection is not the greatest, but here we go. And then we have Scout. I think they've flown the cell before. Kylo, Backdraft, Scorch, Revis, and Foe. So no gunner on Backdraft. That's normally kind of one of my things that I like. But if you're just having him run the whole time, he really doesn't need the gunner. But that works really, really well.
Naked Kylo, no EM. First naked Kylo I've seen in a very long time.
And I respect it. Also, this is so Scout has made they've made a real effort to fly this for the last couple of rounds, and yeah, they're really good with 5 ships. Scout is really good with 5 ships, and this is a scary, scary list.
This is an Empire list in FO.
Yes. They used to be able to fit. Revis. Sorry, no, has got Revis. Used to be able to fit
Yep.
Revis and something else. But yeah, anyone who looks at this and goes, "Nah, that's not that scary," they fly it very well. So be careful of that. I think
A
this
lot of
is
greens, decent amount of hull, decent
Yeah.
amount of shooting back, and Kylo Ren, the best ship in the game. So
again this team is scary.
Ooh.
This is
this team is scary.
A-wings.
This team's named.
Yeah.
Yeah. This team's all got.
I-
This team has all got its position in cuts.
agreed.
I just also want to say that that team has the best name submitted.
Oh yeah.
Wrong.
Hold on,
Wrong.
shot first.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
Nobody's arguing with that.
the other one of the other teams in the next group may have an argument with that if we're going for inappropriate naming. Let me out of here. It may be appropriate considering the other teams in the group at this point.
Let me out of here. I play tennis.
I do. Oh God, yeah, there we go. Shout out to people who really don't want their vaccinations and are therefore not allowed into countries.
Also, hurry up with the old Darwinism thing, please.
Well, you know. Does anyone recognise these names? I assume Nobby might recognise these names.
I know Tim and Rick. I don't think I've actually had the pleasure of playing against Adam Brown, or maybe we have once on the Singapore League. But Tim's been around for a long time. Rick has been known for flying a four ship resistance for quite some time. So back from the hyperspace trial. So normally like his effective, or I should say efficient resistant list builds. So this time it's now with a Y-wing and Kaz. So he's got Lieutenant Bastion, Jess Parva, Kaz with the R5 and Heroic, and Zori Bliss with the Warthog motor and Proton torpedo. So now his full ship resistance now actually has a bit more firepower there. That actually looks potentially quite scary. Tim flying the 4 academies and Darth Vader, another one. I think we've got like 5 or 6 of that particular list. And just because it's blowing out that first one, Adam Brown has.
1 second.
We go
ZBZ.
Django, Count Dooku. Yep. Django Fett with Count Dooku, Connor Nets, false transponder codes, and the whole upgrade. We've got General Grievous, Impervium Plating, Solus 1, Treacherous, and DSB 404, APT, Seismic Charges, Independent Calculations, and Landing Struts. So basically, all of these are pretty meta lists.
Sorry, say again, Liam?
I don't know what's going on. Am I missing something with this list? Why? I'm seeing this archetype come up so much, but why is no one taking Chertek?
Why is the Nantex been replaced with DBS 404?
Everyone has been scared off by the rocks.
Okay. It's because Chertek with
Nantex
there is like 58 when you can get a 404 that throws 6 dice for 40.
I have another question about this list. Now that we've changed the world, is nobody considering Zam over Django?
I don't know.
I know you're losing the I6, but you're getting the much better onboard ability.
Yeah.
If I'm not trying to squeeze a Nantex in, I'll go for Zam.
Yeah.
I would go with Zam too.
It's interesting because I've having played Liam with this, he doesn't obviously if he has the opportunity to, he will put stuff on the rocks with the Nantex, but that's not how he gets the most out of Chertek. Chertek is a beastie, and there's a reason that Chertek is in the list. The amount of control that a Nantex gives you, being able to move stuff into different positions, I think is absolutely worth it over 404. And even with the changes to obstacles, I think I would still take Chertek in the list. But that's because I've seen Liam fly it, and I understand how he uses it.
Ridiculously horrendous he is with it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry to Logic Jump as well. I realised I was reading the names. I've played you a few times online. Yeah, I don't know. This is an interesting batch.
It's a good list. Yeah, there's no arguments about these are 3 solid lists.
Yeah, we got 3 good lists.
Yeah.
And back to the Dutch.
Another Dutch list.
Yes.
Oh my God, you guys have really invaded, haven't you?
Yeah, there's a few Dutch.
They're almost Dutch and UK are on par on numbers.
It's good to see.
Side bet. Side bet.
No bets. No bets.
Who's having the hot sauce this time?
I learned my lesson.
I think this is my turn to do a rundown because Class has been jumping into the SPAC talk with relative skill, actually.
Yeah.
And he's apparently terrifying, according to him. Which I have to respect. So we've got the IGADC list. Now, me and you, Ollie, consider this for the last team event we played as well. We tripped up for Bosk in the end.
Yes.
And running FTC on all 3 of them at I4.
That's interesting.
It's interesting is the phrase, but look, robots are robots. We've got General Grievous, DBS 307, and he's decided to go for 3 fearsome predators.
Yeah.
Instead of any messing about there. And finally, we're looking at... I've seen this list before. Are these 4 X-Wings?
This is
Kai
4
Threnali
X-Wings.
an X-Wing.
Yep,
yeah.
Kai is an X-Wing.
So this is the Temin 4K calculate list, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is the one where you're wanting... This is basically just guns on target.
Yep.
A list very similar like this made I beat in the top 8 of one of the GSPs, but it was hyperspace.
Mm.
And it might be this exact list. It might be the hyperspace list. So it's time on target. This list will be able to gun something to the ground very, very quickly. But as soon as it loses a piece or 2 pieces, it's in a lot of trouble. And it can be initiative killed relatively easily as well. However, if it wins the opening gauge, it probably wins the game.
Yeah. I'm curious about this because the first list and the last list make sense to me. 4-ship resistance beef, and we've got 3 interceptors and Grievous. It's a pain. And they all get target locks if they get bullseyes, because Kalani. But then, so the only person that I've seen since Jesper and Simeon in 1.0 had the massive Brobot thing, the only person I've seen fly Brobots well is Timo Rabe. And he did it with 2 of them with all the upgrades. I'm yet to
Did he
see.
go off a board?
Yeah, he did fly off the board, but then he made up for it in the rest of his games. But I'm yet to see someone get the most out of the 3, so I'm really curious to see how well this does.
FTC is a very interesting choice. I mean, it's gonna have to be an Alpha Strike for your first swing.
Yeah.
It's got like, I mean, this has always been a list that you'd never really write off. It's 3 green dice, 24 hull. It's got a good dial, and it's got a full action bar. I'm always kind of surprised this never does that well, and it's probably because they are I4.
Is good. Right. So, I feel like that is actually quite a. If we go, sorry, there we go. I'm fighting it. If we have a look at Pod Eye, I feel like that is a low-key scary pod.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's a base pod. That's an everybody can kick arse there pod.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Dutch.
I'm gonna have to go with TMT for my boy Odin.
See, I'm thinking Alderaan shot first.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I'm
that's
on
because you're no
Alderaan
longer
shot
in this
first.
chat. You have to go along with Nobby.
Oh man,
I
I kind of want to like the lists for 050 are good, and we know the Dutch are decent players, but yeah, I can't. I'm just this. What is this monster? Why is it here? I can't not go for it. It's just, yeah, crazy man. Anyway, moving
It's a
on.
Jason Denton special, that is.
Yeah, it is. Well, he said he nicked it. Twitchy said he nicked it from him. So shout out to Twitchy, and we'll see how that goes. Right. Before we go anywhere, Liam, you horrible person.
What?
Just in general, that was just randomly thrown in there. Don't worry about any sort
It's
of context.
fine. It's fine.
We're just ending.
I like that name. Anyway, hello Toby.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant's flight school.
Oh, too soon.
Oh dear. Right, let's go on to this one. We have Flipster, we've got Toby, and Kevin O'Connell as well. Let's run through this one quickly. We got Grievous, Django, DBS. We've seen this a lot of times before. Kanan, Zuckus, Fen Rao, and Unkar. That's interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, that's not bad. I didn't realise that fit.
Who do you center stage with that? Ankar plot and then just follow with Zuckus and Kanan and try and get in the back with Fen?
and Hondo. It has
So
Hondo.
you have 2 coordinating ships.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're giving both Fenrau and Zuckus double mods.
Right.
Well, how close is Fen Rao?
Well, as close as he wants to be.
Better
He
not be in
can,
range 1.
Yeah.
You can fly this as like a 4-ship block if you want.
I wouldn't.
Can I just point out how dumb Unkar is as well? Because if someone bumps into him, you both get a tractor token.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just barrel roll yourself off them and keep them where they are.
Yep. You can do it to your
It's
own
dumb.
ships as well.
So much fun.
You can do it to your own ships.
Traditional scum salad, Flipster. Love it.
So you can still track to beam. You can still track to action your own ships, right?
Yeah.
Because if you bullseye Zuckus, you can just barrel roll him or boost him. Because why wouldn't you?
The irony is, it's not. I mean, as far as scum salad goes, this actually doesn't have that much shit going on. Because
No.
whenever I see the words Zuckus and Mist Hunter, I'm like, oh, for the love of Christ, what comes next? This is relatively straightforward for scum salad.
It is, but
But it's
very,
got enough going on. You're like, I'm not sure what the approach looks like.
it's very good at punching face. I'm curious to see how it does.
Yeah, I just don't know if I would 4-block it or 3-block it +1 tight for me. I don't know. Somebody tell me when they play them.
Yeah. I am curious about this as well because we got Rush back.
Yeah, we're back to me and
Yes!
Crispy. Me and Crispy just going. This is the list.
Yeah.
this is the right list. This is what we play.
I do like this list.
It does feel like the better
I've
version.
played this for a while as well.
Double silencer.
Yeah, stop fucking about. Double Daredevil. Rush. That's it. We're good. We're all happy.
I don't know. I like this. Chris, you really like Rush, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It is.
Yeah, because I mean, you can get like super aggressive with them early on because your opponent is so scared to get him up to I6. So he can be a really aggressive. The trick is just don't lose him in a single round.
Yeah, he's Grand Inquisitor in your list from Worlds only.
That's a good point.
He gets in and he's the tracer, but he's not fun to shoot at. So yay.
Mm-hmm.
At ATP, couldn't be better placed.
Yep.
It's nice.
And the fact that the point changes give you random ion missiles for free. Like, here you go, have some ion missiles.
Yep.
The points went down sufficiently to allow that to occur.
All right. This is the team with the most glorious beards in the world. I think we have seen all three of them at this point. But
So this is actually a lone wolf team from Tauntaun. So when me and Ollie and Dom built, and Rich built, Ben and Tim, and then we had a couple of people go, I want to play, and I want to play, and I went, haha, and sewed them together. And then it transpired that they all had massive amounts of facial hair.
Yep. So for anyone that doesn't know Don, he has been flying HMPs forever.
Yeah, this is not a surprise to anybody.
He's very good with them as well.
He made a
I
final
heard he
from
loves.
GSP.
I
He
heard
did?
he loves HSP so much he rehomes used Roombas.
But yeah, Don and I play all the time in Tauntaun. He knocked me out in the top 8 to make it to the final table, and yet somehow
you
I
in
got on.
that? Oh, Chris,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Sorry.
No. But hey, I made fly better instead of either of the guys that made the final table, so I'll take that as a win.
I wouldn't, but rock and roll.
Oof. But yeah, and well, this is fun as well because you've got like all of the bombs in the world from Joe Churchman.
Well, as we keep going on, I knocked Joe Churchman out of Alderaan first round, top 32, and he was playing something very similar to this.
Yeah.
Well, he was playing a Scum Salad.
And then, well, this is Chris. This is pretty much your baby, but minus 2 ties and +1 silencer.
That's correct. The Malice Swarm got hit pretty hard in the last update. So
Disagree.
normally, I flew back when you could fit Hondo on Malorus, and that was a real good time. But now
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's still like a good list. But yeah, I flew 4 Epsilons and 1 Engineer, just so I had 1 blocker and 4 suitors. And yeah, I mean, it's just a standard, gonna go punch you in the face. They're taking this swarm archetype instead of the droids. So I do like that, and seeing people shake it up.
Is it better than running it with 6 cadets?
I don't think it is.
My personal preference is if you're gonna add in the silencer, I'd really like. I mean, Chris's version literally punched me in the face. But yeah, the single silencer and 4 FOs is quite nice because it still feels like a swarm. You got 6 ships. Having the 2 silencers is nice, but I feel that you're giving up too much by giving up 2 of those FOs. But it does have a lot for facing firepower.
Yep, and there are times where you want to roll 4 dice at once, and you can't do that with just the Epsilons.
Yeah.
Is that a big enough trade, though?
I've run Malorus with 6 for
A million
God
years.
knows how long.
Yeah.
And I originally ran it when you could take Tnx on Malorus. Then that got nerfed, and you could only fit Pro Tradition. People stopped taking Malorus because like it's been nerfed, so it's bad. But it just wasn't as good. And I still think a standard Malorus swarm with when it's Malorus +6 is still ridiculous because you've still got mods coming out your ears.
It still astounds me that you
Yeah.
can fit 6 TIE fighters in Malarus. I don't understand
It
why.
still astounds me that we've got this far down the list. This is the first one of these we've seen.
Hmm. Well, there's
Yeah, we
Tim
saw
King's.
the Malorus with Gideon.
No, we saw Tim's 5 one, which has always been around, but this is like it's not a swarm really. It's I suppose it is, but you know what I mean. Closest to the original anyway.
This is true. Alrighty. Thula Squadron. Bring on the Icelanders.
These fuckers talk a
Commission
good game,
Vikings.
don't you? Gisli talks a good game.
Gisli does talk a good game. I mean,
Jan Ulrup's supposed to be pretty good.
he is actually. Yeah. Denmark. Yeah. I keep wanting to say Danish, not Danish. Yes, Danish. Denmark. God, my brain, it's gone. We've been on for 2.5 hours. We're doing well. So Obi Ahsoka 3 loyalists, same list. Who dis? Egil, Han, and Dash. I think this is a good archetype. I just haven't been able to make it work. So I really
2-ship hand dash.
really want to see if he can do it. Normally
Gonna hit pretty hard.
Dash needs support, but we'll see what happens. And Gisli with the 4-ship aces, but with it's the resistance 5s.
4/5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got the resistance 5s. This is going to be fun. And finally, Liam, do you want to talk about your own squad?
Yeah, okay, because it'll be the first time I actually paying attention at our lists, to be honest. I'm going to apologise to my teammates now. I'm massively underqualified to be a captain. If you speak to Ollie, I'm massively underqualified to be picked for the next TC team, but that's a different.
Oh, you can fuck up. You've been picked over and over and over again since then. All right, that is dead.
To be fair,
Shut it.
hey, look, to be fair, you weren't actually picked for the team. The team was picked for you.
Yeah, that's true.
And look at the goddamn team. You get fucking slid into. Like, it's not like you got random 2 guys we pulled off the street and handed a goddamn, TIE fighter to.
Yeah, that's true.
If you guys
I will
do
also-
well, I'd be quietly pissed off.
I mean,
I will also admit to my teammates that I didn't know it was the new rules kind of mix, so I picked my list on the understanding I could throw people onto rocks, but that's not a thing. So let's see what I can do. I have some playing ability.
Yeah, well, we won't blow too much smoke up his arse, but he's quite dangerous with this list.
I think that Chertek is still good, and I want to see
So
how
do
it
I.
does. Yeah, he is quite good with this list. And then we have some more French power with a... Wait a second. Connor, do you recognise this?
Uh-huh. Didn't we build this?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we built this almost card for card, because I wanted to put Kestel in and you overruled me.
Yeah, I swapped out Kestel. Yep. We
do like this
we
list.
maybe stole this for the other tournament we were running.
Yeah, so this is a list that just gets long-range target locks, then does really horrible things to you.
Don't sit in front of it.
Yeah, that is nasty.
I approve of your list.
It is really good. And finally, well, this is familiar.
That looks remarkably familiar since I flew it in Camino.
Yeah, it's gonna do bad things to people. To be fair,
He's changed it a little bit, but yeah, I'm honestly still considering this for the Taker Open. It's just a good list. He doesn't have proc spines, but and he's changed up the Plasma's ATP. He's changed it a bit, but the basic concept's still there.
it's got
There's
some
one
threat.
thing I would change now, which is stick Phasma on Tabson. That's only having played against it a couple of dozen times.
The one thing I am gonna do though, is I'm gonna throw a little bit of shade at Andrew here because he is a big boy in the resist tank and he is not flying resistance. Sad, but
That's deserved. Yes,
he has got
but
Gonk,
there's Gonk.
so he gets points.
I can't remember what it does.
and
Oh, that's
between-
regenerating bloody Tabson, isn't it? Oh, it's a
And
shield
before you
regen.
move on, I want every single person in this chat to say my team name.
What, Kobe Bryant's flight school?
Yeah, we go.
No.
Are you sure it's
Oh,
that?
why not?
So who do we vote for on this? We've got Liam's team and we've got Fear the Beards. Sorry, Thul. No. I'm gonna go with Liam.
Oof.
This is genuinely hard. This is genuinely
Are we
hard.
back to Dix again?
Are we back to Dix? We are back to Dix.
Genuinely hard.
I am genuinely hard.
And you seem surprised, so yeah.
I don't know. I
I think I
think
bet on Thurlow. Originally.
Yeah, you didn't bet on me. Aaron did because
I
he
couldn't
liked the
give you
team
the
name.
ego.
Dead to me.
Yeah.
And my team
you did bet
list
Thul.
went submitted.
You did bet Thul. Aaron built on Kobe.
I don't know. I think it's going to be a real tough fight between these two. I think I'm going to go for the French again. I'm going to go for Liam's team. Oh, sorry, he said go for someone else. He said go for someone else, so we're gonna go Beards. In which case,
I second Beards as well.
fair enough.
I'm gonna put a bet here. If we beat Fear the Beards, we get to shave your beards off, and if you beat us, you get to shave our beards off.
How about your head?
I was waiting for it.
No, just beards.
Suck it, cold chins. I think that's a no.
Right, shall we finish it off?
Sure.
Shall we finish it
I
off?
will also point out that Mike Upton, my Sith Taker colleague, is also in the newest episode of Book of Boba.
That is a very good point.
Is he really? Was it the episode
yeah.
that was just on, or the one coming out Wednesday?
The one that was just on.
Is it enough? Oh, fuck, I can't ask because it's a spoiler. Mr. Upton, I want you to DM me who you played in that show. And then next time we're on, we'll say it out loud so people get a chance to actually watch it.
Yes. Well, I need to watch all of Boba, so yeah. I'm being slow. Okay. Here we go. This is the Maul and Friends special.
Oof.
Nobby, do you wanna take these?
Sure. So, outer suburbs of Brisbane, just so you know, is actually, I think, Townsville, which is like halfway up Queensland, and Queensland's very, very big. James has been flying this list well since the first Trilogy tournament back 3 years ago, I think now. These are also the original Trilogy tournament winners, the very first ones. So all the players are the same. We've got Darth Maul, Hate, Jamming Beam, General Grievous, the Scimitar, and 6 of the Separatist drones. Now, interesting because I think the first version that he flew, he actually had Tractor Beam instead of Jamming Beam. So it's going to be, I guess, different. It's not going to be as effective without the Tractor Beam, I think, but will still be
Tractor Beam more.
Still be played really well. Well, Darth Maul was more of like the support ship for his list than anything, and just an annoyance. You couldn't exactly ignore it, but could hit hard if you didn't.
I mean, if you pause it there,
So,
I've seen this half a dozen times, the thing, and the biggest problem is Maul never, ever gets to turn around when you're running 6 drones with him. He just blocks himself up to all hell.
yeah, but he's got
If you can
force.
slow roll
He's got
against
height.
this list, yeah, but he just doesn't ignore him. Once you get out of his way, he literally never turns around and just dies without ever firing again. But sorry.
Yeah, no, I think when he had the original one with Tractor Beam was more of an annoyance because you could, if he hit you, then you tractor and then basically tractor into the droids, which would then melt you because you lose your agility. But with just having the jamming beam, I think it's going to be less of a threat. But still don't underestimate it.
Yeah.
We've got Neil flying double IGA with Palab. So. Not too sure. I don't think he flew this one last time, but 2 fearless IGAs. It sounds good on paper. Whether or not it'll do well, hard to say. And David is flying Poe, Jess, and 2 Red Squadron Experts. 4070 list, pretty stock standard beef. This is also the real Poe, Trigger Happy Flyboy.
Yep.
I actually quite like this list for just the effect of it's 4070s and you got Poe in there. And he has not forgotten to include his jamming beams.
Yes. Required
It's
upgrade.
simplicity itself. I like that sort of list. I don't think it's seen enough.
Yeah, and the fact that
Yeah.
you've still got the Poe endgame is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. This is, I mean,
So,
they've got winners' credentials. They know what they're doing in a team event. This is really curious. Palob is a massive pain. Jesper flew 2 Fangs and Palob when 2.0 dropped, and it's interesting that you can now fit 2 IGs instead of Fen and Terok. So I'm curious to see how that works. Yeah, this could be fun.
Is
Hmm?
just on that, is Palob better than Kanan in this instance? Because you can drop seismic charges to get Kanan.
I don't know. I think in the previous meta where you were seeing a lot of 3-ship, then maybe in this one.
I'm gonna say no. I say Kanan's better than Palob.
I mean, Plob was
Pain in the
good
arse, but
because there
Kanan's
was
a
less
monster.
force, and now there's a lot of force.
I think because you've only got one set of seismic charges as well, I'd just go to Kanan.
Yeah.
Or we
Hoping,
just play the
a
third
red
IG as we started.
yeah.
Or Boss, which we did.
Alrighty. Then we have more Aussies.
This is more, yeah, this is New South Wales.
Nice. Zoom in a bit.
So,
There we go. Whoop. I've got it.
I'm starting to think Australia is just called New South Wales with the amount of teams we've got coming from there.
It's pretty big. Yeah,
Well, New South Wales is pretty big,
Sydney
but-
itself
but-
is pretty big.
Do you want me to take this one?
Yeah,
again,
I think
or-
I don't want to, because this is the thing. Like, I have no idea about any of these guys, so I would prefer you to bring your expertise.
Okay, well, James is flying Obi-Wan Battle Meditations, which we talked about a bit earlier. He's gone for the beef variation. Look at this. We've got APTs on 2 arcs
Wow.
with Veteran Tail Gunner and R3. So coordinate at I5 and able to get 2 locks on 2 separate targets with a 5 dice attack. Double mod. That actually could be quite scary. And we've got Padme in there as well, to be rude. Now, James, he kind of lately he's been rolling like things like bombers and stuff, like 5 bombers. So to see this list in James's hands is very, very interesting for me. I cannot tell you anything about that other than that actually looks quite scary.
Yeah.
Now, Pete is flying Darth Vader, Hate Fire Control, 5th Brother with homing missiles, Gideon with the TIE Interceptor and a targeting computer, and Sin with marksmanship. Now, this actually is a pretty scary list if you don't like aces. I don't know if Peter's going to be able to get the full value out of this list.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen him fly this kind of list, this AC kind of list well. I'm sorry, I should say, I haven't seen Peter
Or
fly
at
this
all.
kind of list. Yeah. Like I don't know. I do like the list, and I think it's going to be scary for some matching, but and it's not just a straight 3 Empire Ace list. It actually has a bit of flexibility. So I actually quite like that list. I'm still going back to the arc with APTs and the Obi-Wan with battle meditations. I think that's actually quite scary. James's list. Just thinking about it.
I agree. Like,
So
sorry, just to. I feel like this is. Tell you what, let's finish off and then we'll go back to that one.
yeah, we'll go back to that one. Yeah, sorry.
Are we back to
so-
Dix again?
We are back to Dix. Just finish off. You know.
All right, we've got 3 bombers there.
Really
and
expensive
a
bombers.
courier. Yeah, they are
Yeah.
very fat. APTs, concussion
God.
missiles, skill bombardier, proxy mines. I mean, this is all in on the bombers, really. We've
Whoa,
got a
but
courier
they're
for.
Just not protected at all.
Yeah, I feel like if
He's not running pings.
No, he's got
Yeah.
he's got
But he's
sensor
no
boys.
pings.
He's got sensor boys.
But he's no pings. What the hell's the point of having sensor boys with no pings?
He's got targeting sync though, so you're rolling concussion missiles with just a focus then.
Yes, so the first order courier can take a target lock on a target and then share that, so both the APT and the concussion missile can be fired without the target lock. Has to be in range, so very interesting little mechanic there. We've got Agent Rex there too to ensure that tokens can be shared. Like interesting list. I don't think it's meta, but it's definitely interesting, and it actually has quite a bit of firepower with the APTs.
Huge amounts of firepower if they survive. A huge amount.
It feels like
Yeah.
these lists could all be really scary, but not massively optimized.
Yes.
That's what it feels
I
like.
feel the same.
And this, I do want to come back to this one because this is a really interesting combination. Normally you see a list do one thing, right? And Padme is probably one of the most frustrating ships that I have ever played against. Because once you use... Yeah, just read the card. I'm not going to read it out, but she has a massive pain for denying you offensive modifications or even defensive modifications. And yeah, that's Battle Med plus APTs seems like a very good way to annihilate a ship very, very fast. Do you think he's ever going to get them off?
Yeah. Well, it depends if you just the list or not. Like, don't forget they are medium-based ships, so they can have a slightly wider up front arc. And the fact you've got R3 means he could take a couple of locks, and you've got to watch out for that second lock the following turn too. So, I think the R3 on there gives him more. Sorry.
Medium base means they're easier to bump, which means no shot.
No, you got Battle Med.
Well, yeah, but you got better meditations. So even if you get the bump, it just means that there's one less ship to worry about, and you take the locks on the ones behind.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks a little bit scary. It all comes down to how he's going to be able to fly those medium-based ships in with the deadly obstacles. So
Pretty interesting.
There's a lot more stuff that can.
I call that. It's definitely interesting.
All right. So shall we talk about the other Australian team in here?
Or like the best team,
The
Crates
best
Cup
team.
champions and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. For full disclosure, we locked our lists in before we even really, really early on. So because we had to, I had to be looking at lists from other players. So it's probably no surprise there that I've locked in the same one I was flying for Greats Cup
Seems good.
with 3 Delta 7Bs, Lumi, Patience, and Chopper. Chopper, so really, really good.
I like that list. And you flew it really well last time.
Yeah, it's almost like having A-wings, but you get a weapons upgrade. So on 3 of them anyway. We also have the 4 academies and Darth Vader. So Aaron has been flying that quite a bit recently, and is like, yeah, I know what I'm going to fly. I want to fly that. Yeah. And then Deering. So Deering. It's funny because me and Deering have we both love resistance. We both fly a lot of resistance. And so it was like when we were talking about this earlier on, it was like, okay, well, who's going to fly resistance? And that's why I took the Republic, and I gave him option to fly for resistance. Now this is actually one of my lists. He has picked because he was just debating on what to fly, and we didn't want to fly another 4 T70s because we had the Delta 7Bs in there, and that kind of means it's almost the same. So he has opted to pick Han, Poe, and Lulu. So Trickshot Han, C-3PO, Attack Officer, and Rey, nice and consistent. You can coordinate at I6, which means you can get Lulu go in there, go and take a focus, coordinate a target lock, boost off that, and then next thing you know, you got a double modded Lulu range 1 in your face. Preferably not in your face, on your flank. It's probably better. And we've got here's Poe with ion torpedoes and overdrive thrusters. Ion torpedoes on Poe is just so good.
They're really good. So.
Yeah, the best team. Don't look anywhere else. Don't worry about Ollie and Kyle. This is a team to watch for.
It's good. It's good. And credit
you
to
may have to bend your neck down to look, but they're there somewhere.
Well, credit to Deering for giving Tom Fieldsand the largest amount of list panic I've seen for any event ever, coming up to list takers. The man has changed his mind about 25 times a day. Right. So I like this. I think it's a good combination of lists. Everyone knows how to fly it. This, like, yeah, definitely one to watch. And I mean, they're coming off the back of a crate cut win, so Nobby.
That is a very positive point. I take it Deering was the third member of your team for that crate cut win. So this is just the same team again, yeah?
Yeah, this is the same team. Yeah.
Yep. And you're even getting some credit from TMT up in the chat. So.
Oh yeah, Scrubs. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Scrubs. We're total Scrubs.
On the subject of people that might be very good, this one could also be decent.
Singapore Slingers.
Yep. Who wants to take this one? Last one.
I can, if nobody else is.
Yeah, go on.
All right,
No,
Alexander,
I've done two. You...
Well, I know these guys too, because they have also the ability to show up on the international scene, and they always tend to fly fun stuff. So, Anakin Skywalker in the Eta-2 with elusive and stealth device. Everybody just loves that ship. Thanks, pal. 212th Battalion pilot with cluster missiles, Clone Commander Cody, and a 104th Battalion pilot. So, it's sort of a mixture on the last stuff we saw in Singapore, really. 5-ship list. Republic running a massive upgrade at the top, and then reducing the power level below. Sorry, 4-ship list. Reducing the power level low by shedding a ship. We then have everybody's favorite ship. I have to move to something else because I can't see on that one. Hera, Wedge, Garvin, and Kyle. Now, I'm right in thinking this exact guy took this to the final of Camino?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, lost the final to what is basically a list above it, or at least something very similar.
Yeah, pretty much.
My understanding is he's quite new.
But very
That's
good.
right. Yeah.
But leaping in bounding. Now, he definitely made some mistakes in the final,
that.
but he made the final. So I took that to be a panic scenario. You don't make finals without knowing what you're doing, and this list is very solid. Let's assume he's ironed out some of the Garvin passing stuff. We'll assume he does very well with that.
It feels like to me the improvement of Androla's. Like, now that stuff has come down in cost, like Hera B-Wing, this feels like what it changes into.
Sidestep, maybe. Either way,
Yeah.
this is the first iteration that we put together, and then we kind of evolved it back to the other one, and we put it back to this. So this is kind of like the starting basis where it always worked. Like, this is the token passing at its finest, right?
Yeah, right.
So Kyle seemed to come out and everybody played him, and then all of a sudden everybody stopped playing him again for whatever reason. So yeah, I think they both have a very similar strength level and slightly different things. And then we've got Quick Draw, a fully armed Quick Draw.
Yep.
With Baffle. Okay. You got Commander Malrith and Z with another 8 points slapped on. Breach, running proton torpedoes only. And Ion Limiter Overdrive, and Backdraft running Fanatical and Proton Rockets. Alright, so the FO cell is a bit more confusing. Unless anybody wants to tell me what I'm missing there, that seems relatively...
Electronic Baffle on Quick Draw means you can do a K-turn. You'll get your stress, but then you get to use Electronic Baffle
Definitely
to
take
get rid
one
of the
damage to
stress.
take the shot. Yeah, okay, that's quite clever.
Yeah.
So Baffle lets you
That
control
happens-
when you
shield
want to shoot.
And also,
And then
Question:
Panama-
does it happen after or
it's
does it happen
confirmed that
after
it
before you remove
happens.
tokens?
It happens. You shoot before you remove tokens. That one has been addressed. So you get the tokens for the shot.
Alright, he's doing some fun, interesting things.
The other thing that I think, because everyone thinks about the sloop, but the SF has a hard one that is red, which works really well with the Baffle.
Yeah. Strip the stress, take the shot.
And then you get Tnx for the calculate, so you still get your modification.
Normally, I like to see pattern on Quick Draw if she's running Baffle.
Yeah.
And there are a couple upgrades in here, like rockets on Backdraft. I don't think that's ever gonna come out. I think like you could drop, all the 1 point, like just literally drop all the talents: Fanatical, Mars Sable, Ion Limiter, and Fanatical, and then you put pattern on Quick Draw, and now you can kind of lean into that.
Or
Baffle.
even Proud Tradition, right?
Crowd also works, yes.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting salad.
It's definitely an interesting salad. I'm not convinced it's secret sauce, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
So
Also, Malorus assisting ships that at high initiative doesn't work out well.
Yeah.
Because if Quick Draw does in fact need rerolls, she's straining herself, and then that makes her an easy target, and then she shoots again, and she strains herself again, which then is probably gonna kill her.
yeah, she's very
Uh,
clearly designed
like-
to just go in, fire really, really hard, and then blow up.
Yeah.
That's
So
expensive
Malorus
shit.
may, it's like 50 something
56.
to just go, just to go in there and die. And then Malorus is, giving rerolls, but also, making it a lot easier to burn through all of Quick Throw's shields in a single round.
yeah.
That's basically it. Yeah, Quick Draw is gonna punch really hard, as long as she's still there.
Yeah, I'm curious about this. Well, I think so. Based on that, then let's just wheel back up here. So we've got 3 Aussies and Singapore.
Singapore. Wow.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's a local derby there. I'm gonna be nice to Nobby.
Yeah, I'm
I'm gonna have to.
gonna put my name beside Nobby as well.
Same.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Nobby.
There you go, Nobby. You're screwed.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. You guys will pick us, and then we're gonna come last in the pod.
Yep.
I have a lot of respect for everybody in the Singapore team, and I don't know the other Aussies, but I like your list, so I'll go with the list.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think the team Singapore is a scary list of players, but I think they might struggle to get the most out of a couple of their lists in there. All right, and that is that. So what I would do is I'm curious. I want you people to put your money on the line here, not like hypothetical money, not actual money. I want you to pick if you are happy to, and by happy to I mean I'm forcing you to, so you don't get a choice. I want you people to pick a team that's going to win the entire thing. And that's the question. Do you want, while you guys are thinking, I'm going to start off, and I'm going to say my reasoning for it.
Our team.
No,
I've already got
assuming
mine
that you're
picked.
not allowed
It's
to
gonna be
pick.
picking myself.
Yeah, you're not allowed to pick yourself.
Yep.
I'm
That is the thing. You're not allowed to pick yourself. So the team that I think is going to win the entire thing, I would love to pick the Steel Takers because I think they've got a really good shot. But I'm going to go with KGK. I'm going to go for the Poles because I think that they're coming off the back of a grumpy patch from the XTC. They didn't fire in the XTC, and I think you have taken some of the strongest XTC players out of that Poland team, put them all in one place, and they are just going to dick punch people for this event because they're taking lists that they know really well, but other people don't. I think you're going to like the A-Wings and the Maul list and the Y-Wings. They're just going to surprise people with them. So I think they are just going to steamroll people, and I think they have the best chance of winning the thing. Who wants to go next?
I'm going to
pick
go
the same
Steel
one
Takers.
because that
Okay,
was my pick.
Up to you.
Yeah, go on, Nobby.
Yeah. I was going to say the same when I saw 6 A-Wings on there, and I saw the list in there. I really liked, and you mentioned earlier that you think they're going to win it, and I was actually looking at it and going, yeah, I actually seriously think the same. KGK was my pick. It's unfortunate though they've had to DQ them because they were late in submitting the lists. But if we didn't DQ them, money's on KGK.
I assume that once you DQ them, Bartosz will never remember that, and then the next XTC comes around. And Australia will in fact just be removed from the map.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll have to be country that.
That's okay. We'll get rid of Singapore while we're at it.
Jesus. Okay.
6 A-Wings. I mean, I can't bet against 6 A-Wings. Pure and simple.
Yeah, Nobby is just straight out biased. It's fine.
Well, I'm going for Steel Takers because I'm going to bet on Kez, Tom, and Dan.
Yeah.
I think there's about 5 or 6 other teams in here, and including a few that might not be immediately, but assuming they're on these strengths, they're monsters.
Yeah.
So I would like to say Steel Takers, mostly because we can say that we lost to the champions, and the reason why we didn't get a good break in the elimination rounds is because we got kicked around. but I am gonna say Fear the Beards.
Mm.
I think they've got a solid team there, all good players, and they've got a solid mix. Also, the only other electro proton bomb in the entire tournament, so I'll be rooting for them, and I think that they're gonna go out and win the thing.
You might be rooting for yourself first.
Well, yeah, but you're not allowed to go for yourself, so.
Yeah. So you know, yeah.
Yeah. Go on then, Liam.
Okay, so 2 statements. I'm going to pretend like Chris has forgotten I'm in the same group as Fear the Beards. And is your squad Viper Squadron?
Yes.
All right, they're coming last. I'm gonna go because of pure loyalty, and I think they'll surprise a lot of people because of the reps they put in. I'm gonna go Sith Taker snapshots.
Yeah.
Are you seriously telling me we went through 5 people and nobody went with 186 Tomcast?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
we
I'm
are
doing that.
We're
fucking
hosting,
hammering
right?
you bollockses now.
Nobody
Hammering.
said me either.
Well, of
And I've
course
got
you
the
didn't
best
say
team
you.
name.
Come on.
I've got the best team name.
This is true. To be fair, Connor, we have to fall flat on our faces and drink hot sauce. That's kind of the point of this show.
I'm also looking forward to kicking, Crispy out of Tauntaun about 10 seconds after this ends.
What? You don't like losing 5 in a row? What is it? I haven't kept track, honestly.
If you're talking about you, it'll be their third.
Third, okay. All right, we haven't played that many games. All right.
You beat me twice. Let's not go
This
fucking
is
nuts
this is
here.
basically what the Smack Talk channel has looked like for the last 3 weeks. Is
I
Connor
think me
taking
and
pop
Crispy
shots at anyone?
I've played 5 and he's won 3. So
Right, so we're definitely kicking him.
Oh yeah.
Fear the beards.
All right. Last
Come
thing, because we have just hit 3 hours, so we've been successful. Is which do you think is the roughest pod to be placed into?
Oh, for fuck's sake, it's Vipers.
It is. I mean,
yep.
is there okay? Let's take Vipers aside. Do we think there's some other scary ones? Because we kind of covered it, but not really. I don't know. I feel like
Pod J
I
is
think
Fear
Pod-
the
I think
Beards
Pod
still and Kobe. That's
Yeah.
not going to be fun.
yeah.
Pod I is
Kobe.
TMT, Alderaan, and Let Me Out of Here, and 050.
Yeah. I think I is tough just because
Yeah, I
they're
also
all
do.
at yeah.
Yeah.
They're all just like same solid level.
Pod F, KGK, Sith Taker Snap, and B Team.
Yeah, I think don't underestimate B team. Sith takers, I hear they're okay. I don't know. They talk a lot on podcasts, so could be good. Lovable Rogues is probably the odd one out there, but the other 3 I think are very solid teams. So I think it'd be quite interesting.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of really unpleasant ones. I'm not saying ours is a fucking walk by any stretch of the imagination, but there's a couple of bad ones.
I
I'm trying to remember who TNX Mango is. Because Canada and Netherlands are both an A as well.
TNX
Yeah.
Mango. Sorry, go Chris.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna bring attention to A. They're the Greek team, TNX.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
and a couple of
combination
good
of it.
players there as well.
Yep.
Yeah, A's
yeah.
pretty tough too.
I think D, A, and J are probably the top 3 toughest.
Nobody's got 4 teams that are top seed, but there's an awful lot of pods that've got 3.
Yeah.
Which makes you feel a little bit sorry for the fact that Colombia is an A and D.
Oh, that's a good
Look
point.
at the fucking pods.
Just before we finish, Nobby, the lists are all in TTT now, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, and I think they can be viewed directly in TTT. If you want a list for this, it's in the Discord. I can probably just share the link.
Yep. And
I can go for.
I can very happily put this. Tell you what, this is going to go into a YouTube video, and I will put the link to my spreadsheet on both the video and the Twitch video as well. So we'll do that. All
I'm
right.
going to take this opportunity while we're talking about nothing to say happy birthday to Nobby. You don't look a day over 40.
Yesterday, right?
It was yesterday. Well, 2 days in Australia land.
Happy 41st,
Yeah.
maybe?
Yay.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's I'm old now. Yeah.
It's nice to have somebody older on the
yeah,
stream than me,
40.
though. Rare. It's nice.
I'm just 41. Yeah, over the hill, so they say. Yeah, feeling very, very old. And thank you to all the teams that completed on time, so I didn't have to worry about on my birthday. And to all those that were late and made me chase off on my birthday, shame on you. Shame on you. There was a reason why the cutoff was meant to be on the 6th. And while I expected to do a little bit of legwork, it was more than I had planned for. So
Yeah,
anyway.
fucking fair play to you, man. A professional operation for a one-man band, don't lie. You're doing
Well
well.
done,
Oh, it's
everyone.
not
You've
one man.
ruined his birthday.
Just so you know, there are a few people behind the scene. So shout out to Shane, helping me organise the wonderful artwork and prizes for the card that's
Singapore
going to the
Shane?
event. That's right, Shane Monk. He's not actually in it, but he has been helping me at the back end. So shout out to him. And also my team. They have helped. They are also helping me with updating the score trackers and helping us. We sat down and developed the structure and how we're going to play it, because we had a couple of requirements. One was that you don't want to lose 2 games and be out of the event. So I'm actually quite happy with the pods and how they're going to be there used for seeding. So everybody should get at least 4 solid games in the event.
Yes.
And have a really good run. So, or maybe not be good, but at least I get to play 4 games and still have a chance. So yeah, shout out to my team because
Awesome.
helping me at the back end there.
Do we have any other shout-outs from you guys? Liam?
I mean,
No.
at some point my wife might watch one of these. Maybe I should shout her out every time, just in case.
Yeah. Chris?
She won't.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give a shout out to my team because they started texting me halfway through and sending me "We find your lack of faith disturbing" memes. So
Yeah, they should.
I am not qualified really to be a captain or to lead any team to greatness, but please stick with me and we'll get through it.
Actually, yeah, I'm going to shout out my team because you stuck with me. I'm really sorry. But yeah, I'm a pirate king, so let's go.
Shout out to Odin. Sorry, I'm calling that one. Shout out to Odin, who's at work and has been randomly DMing me. You rock.
That's good. And for those of you who are still here at the end of 3 hours and 6 minutes, why are you here? But thank you. And
I don't know, man. I gotta go to work.
Yeah, that's all good. Anyway.
My favourite thing is when Ollie was like, "Yeah, we'll make it a short one. We'll keep it to an hour."
Yeah, be an hour. Yeah, fuck, that worked.
Yeah, that's fine. You know how I work at this point. I ramble.
It'll work.
Yes. Anyway, have a good one, people. Good to see you.